everyone knows I have an amazing, in my opinion, amazingly funny reaction to Roz's big megathon stream. I know a lot of people have already covered it. I watched their coverage. I reviewed their coverage. It's good. But I think I'm bringing something unique to the table. I think I'm going to, as a Floridian, I think I have my own unique take on that. All right, so let me welcome y'all in. Welcome in, Jamie. Good to see you. Welcome in, Canada Cool Pontu. Thank you so much again for the super chat. Welcome in, Hell's Ice Supply. Good to see you again. Flash Face, welcome in. Jules Collect. Oh, and let me apologize right now if I miss any gifts or anything like that. It's really tough to see them sometimes on your eye. You go to a different window to check. Let me see if anybody sent any gifts like that. I don't see any yet, but if anybody does, my apologies. Like I said, my mods will remind me. If it's not a big deal, I don't really do it for free. Excellent. Welcome in again, Blush Face. Welcome in, Simon. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a good evening. My audio's broken tonight. Oh. What's going on with the audio? What's going on with the audio? Is not working?
Hello, is everything working now? I don't know what happened there. Okay, something is with StreamYard, because I had everything correct. I double checked all my settings, I just had to reset it. Exactly, I just had to reset it. I don't know what the heck was going on there, but thank you for your patience, everybody. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. My apologies, everybody. All right, sorry, everybody, my apologies. I had to reset it. I don't know what the heck was going on there. Yeah, geez. We got it fixed. Yeah, something with StreamYard. I have no clue what that is. All right, apologies, everybody. Let's start this over. Thank you for letting me know at least. We'll try this again. Thank you so much. Let me cut down the music a little bit. All right, now we can do the show for real. Well, at least we caught it early, right? At least we caught it early. And thank you for everybody kind enough to tell me that I'm a fool. I don't know what's going on my own stream. Thank you so much. Let's start over from the beginning. We only missed, what, 5 minutes? Not a big deal. Okay. First, we're going to start off by saying thank you to Canada Cool for the super chat. Thank you so much, Canada Cool. Very generous. Very much appreciated. $49.99 super chat to start off the evening. Thank you so much, Canada Cool Pondu. I'm going to read it off. Hey, everyone. I can't chat tonight because I'm working in my garden, but I'm listening on my headphones. Y'all have a fun chat. Thumbs up, smiles, hearts. Thank you so much, Canada Cool. You rock. Very much appreciate all the support and appreciate all the members and each and every one of you folks. So thank you again, Canada Cool. Very generous, very much appreciated. So hopefully my audio is good now. The volume balance is good. Let me welcome everybody in. Welcome in, Jamie. Welcome in, welcome in Blushface. Hello. Welcome in Have a Sumam. Good to see you. Welcome in Hell's Ice Supply, wherever you are. I missed you a second ago, but I'm not gonna. I know you're in here, Hell's Ice Supply. Welcome in. Yeah, that's what the Blushface. That's what I sound like before I put the effects on. That's my natural voice. Sorry, did I scare you folks? Yeah, my normal voice isn't quite as nice as the one that you hear on the show here. My apologies for that. That's what everybody who knows me in person gets to hear. Yeah, got it fixed. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what the heck that was. Just the StreamYard or something. Welcome in, Detective Coaches. Yeah, welcome in, Canada Cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, 5 minutes. Red card on the stream. Okay, Rose Thorn, welcome in. Bambi, I deserve it. I deserve the ban. Let me make sure we got everybody welcomed in here. Got everybody welcomed in? I think so. I need a detractor, right? We need detractors here. It's necessary for a quality show, right? I mean, seriously, if I'm messing up, I appreciate the help. Okay. So if I missed anybody, my apologies, but I think it's time to get the show started. So hopefully the audio balance, my mic is good now. So what do we got for tonight's stream? I got what I think is going to be a really good stream. A lot of people have covered Rosie's big 5.5 hour big stream from the other day. It's so long that it was really hard to like watch and sit through the whole thing, which is why I have gone through the trouble of scanning through the transcript and finding what I think are a lot of highlights. And I've got a lot of really good highlights from that stream. As a Florida resident, I think I could provide my own spin on it. And I just think it's going to be a really good one. Whenever I take a lot of notes, I usually have a good stream. So fingers crossed, it's going to be a good one. I also want to do an update on Foodie. I've been neglecting Foodie for a while. It's not going to be the main segment for tonight. The main segment tonight's going to be that big stream from Roz. But we're going to break it up with a Foodie segment. From her health the other day. She did a whole health update. She got a blood test, all that kind of stuff. She talks at length about her health. So if that's interesting to you, you're going to like it. If not, hopefully I can at least make it fun for you. All right. So I think it's almost time to start. I should have put on the video in the background. Whoops. Let me share the video screen while I'm doing this. Share the little bumper. And let me cut off the music. Exactly, blush face. I'm a big believer in that. Like, if you have a lot of people clipping you and talking crap, that shows that you've made it at least somewhat. Thank you, Elise. I should probably put a disclaimer up for that. That way people know you're not to expect too much. Well said, blush face. Okay, so let's get it started. Let's start it up. Let's get this party started. So I think I've got a ton of Rosie content, so we're going to start with Roz, because I've just got a lot more of her than I do Foodie. So let me pull that up while you folks are enjoying the little bit of music I still have playing. Oh, and I'm going to be giving away some channel memberships tonight. YouTube, I always talk crap about YouTube as a platform, but they did something that I think is a smart move, and I'm going to give them some credit. They've given channels with memberships the option to award some trial memberships to the viewers. And I think that's a good feature. So I'm going to be awarding 5 memberships later in the stream. So that's a chance for anyone who gets that membership to check out the monthly member streams that I do. Just did one a week ago, covered some police body cam type stuff. Next month, I'm going to be covering typical potpourri like that, but I'm also going to be covering, I'm trying to find a video I'm doing this while I'm kind of distracted. PQ Quirky. Going to also be covering like an internet celebrity, and I've got 3 options in the posts, the channel posts with a little poll. So if you're a channel member, be sure to check out the posts and let me know which one you'd like to see. If you get a membership tonight, that post will be visible. Okay, so here we go. Let me get my notes real quick. We're about to get started here. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Had a little bit of technical difficulties starting off the show tonight. Okay, so to give a little context, actually, I don't need to give much context. Rosie introduces this pretty well. I guess just give a brief amount of context for anybody new to Rosie, new to the stream. My name I go by the name Dr. Phil. It's a bit of a joke name. I'm not really a doctor, but I just like that name. I think it's funny. It calls back the reality TV origins of all this kind of girl world content. And Rosie, Quirky loves Rosie. Quirky loves grifting. She is a bit of a girl worlder, online e-celeb, lolcow, whatever you want to call her. She's super hyper obese. She is the biggest victim on the internet, and she will tell you exactly how and why that is. Oh, welcome in, Boosh. Good. I got you confused with Blush Face. You got such a similar picture there. Unless unless you just changed your name. But if two different people, you really got the same look there. But welcome in, Bloosh. All right. So let me put on the stream for tonight, and we're going to get started.
But things are going well. Oh, here we go. I can see.
Well, make sure the audio balance is good. Rosie's pretty loud for once, which she usually isn't.
The gifts this time. Jen sent a goat trophy. First of all, sick. Love that. Maybe wipe the lens. I'll try it. Let's see. It might not help. It's honestly, guys, this laptop's a little bit of a potato, but I'll give it a go. I think that helped a little bit. To be honest, but the camera feels nostalgic. The quality is bad because you guys are not in my.
So she's got her old laptop on. I want to point out something too for anybody who's just who's not quite sure exactly what's going on with how she looks. She's laying on her belly, but yet she's still like her back is arched and she's on her belly. She's a good way to describe her posture is think of a beached whale, literally, or like when a sea lion goes onto the ice, or a seal goes up onto the ice, it kind of slides, or a penguin slides up onto the ice floe on its belly, and it kind of has its arms out to the side, and it just kind of arches its back, and it kind of sits there with its shoulders at back, and its flippers pointed backward, and its head pointing up. That is the posture you got with Rosie here. Very much aquatic mammal posture. Her natural blubber provides a lot of stability in this posture. So it's kind of her natural position. All right, so let me find the first clip here. This is so much in here. We're going to be fast forwarding a little bit here and there just because this is a 5.5-hour stream. And even with all my edits, even with sped up, I don't think we're going to be able to get through the whole thing tonight.
It's like. So much I want to share that I can't, but
so much she wants to share, but she can't. It's big surprises, like Rosie. She's always got a big surprise coming up. She just can't tell us.
Yeah, I like these nails. They don't. I'll show them in better. Oh, the name of the title. I was trying to think, what do I need to talk about? So I just made a community tab post as well as an Instagram story about it.
Yes, a walrus. Very good.
Hello, blonde.
Oh, let me take.
So yes, I have a PO box.
And before I get too far into it tonight, let me just take a moment to thank or to welcome in everybody who's just come in. We got a few new people still in here tonight. Don't worry, trolls are welcome here. Trolls are welcome here. We love the trolls over here. Important part of the ecosystem, right? We got the lolcows, we got the trolls, we got the reactors. It's a diverse and vibrant ecosystem. Did she forget to clean the camera lens? I think that's just the grease from her fingertips. But seriously, she's using her laptop camera, which is why the camera quality is so poor. Why is she using her laptop camera instead of her phone? She might tell us later. Maybe. That's not a bad idea, actually. Tummy time on the belly. Welcome in, Timo. All right, so let's continue here. And I'm going to try not to pause too much, but I am going to be doing a fair amount of pausing. But we just have so much content tonight, so hey, we'll see how it goes.
Reach out to me.
One last, sorry, folks. About the intro, the main topic of tonight's stream is, you can see it in the title here, P.O. Box, new P.O. Box. Wishlist is back, grifting memberships. She's got an Amazon wishlist she just started. She's opened up a new P.O. Box. Somebody gave her the P.O. Box, donated it. So that's why I've titled the stream, my stream, Rosie's B.O. Box. No, not body odor, begging online box.
Instagram story about it. Hello, blonde. So yes, I have a PO box. Someone reached out to me. Actually, I was in the pool live, and she wanted to send me something, and I didn't ask. She just offered to help pay for a PO box, and I was like, that's incredible, because the byproduct of that is now I can also relaunch my Amazon wishlist.
Yay!
I've updated my link tree. I've updated my descriptions. I finally did something that I've just been like procrastinating doing, even though
I'm so proud of you, Rosie. You're taking those steps to really, fixing your life, making, accepting that PO box as a gift and making that new Amazon wish list is the perfect way to cure your agoraphobia. Now you can go out and leave the house whenever you want. As long as there's a gift there waiting for you, it makes it really easy to overcome your agoraphobia. So I am so proud of this girl.
More work for me to not do it.
Yeah, it's more work. But it's good work, you know? It's the kind of work that's making her a stronger person, picking up bags of protein bars and press-on nails and all the other essentials.
But I finally updated my like preset.
Oh, and how's the volume balance? Hopefully the volume balance is good. I've got myself a little bit louder this week, so probably should turn her up just a little bit, I'm guessing. But let me know if it's not good. A lot of times she's quiet.
So I don't have to manually clear it out and put the new one in every time from my phone, because it's just YouTube Studio is annoying with how differently it functions between
Welcome in, Talio.
Computer. Yeah, so I did make a community post. It's also linked in the description. It's linked in my link tree. It's a very easily accessible. I have a PO box. There's also a street version of the PO box. It's like an extra add-on you can have.
That's awesome. She got the extra expensive version of the PO box, so people can send her stuff that you normally couldn't get in a PO box. Like, what stuff you couldn't normally get in a PO box? Like what? Live animals. Medical waste, like seriously, like what would you need? Like I'm not an expert on PO boxes, I'm really not, but I'm just trying to think, what would she need the street address for? Like, so she could be signed up for more crap? Like I don't know. Oh, I wonder if Rosie's going to sign herself up for all kinds of garbage. Of course she is.
That basically, like, if someplace
Cheese of the Month Club
and allow PO boxes, you can put in that version and it'll still go to my PO box. So sick. Love that for me. And yeah, so the PO box or the Amazon wishlist is also reopened. So I put a lot of stuff on there. Before like everybody starts, like all the haters start like clutching the pearls and shit, I'm just gonna address it outright. I did add I think right with Prime deal, I think it's like a $400 laptop that has the proper storage I need that this one doesn't have. Because this laptop is limiting what I'm able to do.
Yes, I'm so glad that, you know, her laptop is limiting what she can do. It's not her lack of computer skills. It's not her lack of knowledge or experience. It's purely the technological limitations of that laptop. I'm sure that nobody else would be able to get it to work any better. You know, for example, she says there's not enough storage on there. I'm sure there's no way to expand the storage, right? She couldn't possibly use cloud storage. She couldn't possibly use an external hard disk. She couldn't possibly use a freaking thumb drive. I mean, obviously there's better and worse methods, but storage is like the easiest thing to upgrade on a laptop. It really is. It's so simple to upgrade the storage. You can buy an external hard disk. I know that right now the hard disks, hard drives are more expensive because of the supply shortages, because of all the corporate accounts buying it up for the data centers. But still, the laptop is, if storage is the issue, that can be fixed like for nothing. She can just buy some cloud storage for like, I don't know, $5 a month.
I've talked about this a lot, so I'm not expecting anyone to get it for me. If someone were to, I'd probably cry my eyes out, to be honest. But like I said, I also use my Amazon wish list to add things that like I would purchase for myself once I'm able to. So just want to throw that out there. But
yeah, this is the current one.
See here.
Oh, welcome in, Chris Jenner. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a great evening.
Yeah, Tobin's is an awesome name.
I
mean,
nails,
my laptop,
yes.
I got financed and I paid it off in less than 2 months. So not that that's any of your goddamn business. Thank you, Gamer Girl. Yeah, so anyway, it's just out there. People have been requesting for a way to send me stuff. Like, if you just want to write a letter, draw a picture, I'd love it. I mean, it's stuff I can just unbox and
do. People have been requesting like ways to send her things, to buy her stuff, and she wants to be a good YouTuber. She wants to treat her audience right. She's tired of reactors saying that she exploits her audience and takes advantage of them, so she wants to do something for them. And they're always asking for ways to give her more stuff. They want to send her more money, more gifts, more things. And now she's finally reaching out and making it possible. She's doing what the audience wants and what they need. How dare reactors say that she doesn't care about her audience? Look at how quick she is to fulfill their request, to give them a way to send her more stuff. Isn't that fantastic?
A big part of my content is like haul content and things like that.
Welcome in, little Miss Nat.
There's things you want me to try, review, whatever, like different products, whatever. Like it's just there now.
Hey, well, we know you got a busy schedule with your being a momager and all that, but we appreciate you coming by.
Hey, Morgan the Stallion. We're happy to have you here. And yeah, so that's everything I put on my wish
She
list.
probably uses the WD-40 as chair lube so she can get in and out of her office chair. She sprays it with WD-40 so she doesn't get stuck in there on camera.
It's like I have a rule. Everything that I put on my wish list would be something that if I had the money, I would pay for myself. I'm not just gonna throw shit on there because I think it would be cool to have. You know what I mean?
It's stuff that if she had the money, she'd buy for herself. So she doesn't even have like enough money for like the most basic things because that's what's on that wish list. It's like $5, like, what did she have in there? Protein bars, nails, press-on nails. I don't actually know what's on the list entirely. I only know what she mentioned. But just the idea that, well, these are things that I would buy, but I just can't afford them. You know, these are the things I need so badly. And we all know how desperate she is for money, right? This poor girl.
But
she's struggling so hard financially, and there's just nothing she can do. I mean, she's on a fixed income. She can't earn money. There's no way she could ever earn anything herself, right?
Yeah. So I do
heavy doses of sarcasm. For anybody new to the channel, I do a lot of sarcasm. I usually try to make it clear, but sometimes you gotta just kind of know when I'm joking.
I did add like more fake nails because those are pretty affordable in terms of like the total cost for the products and stuff. So I try to be mindful of that because I really appreciate anyone that wants
what's
to be
up,
generous
Jizzo?
and send gifts and things of that nature. So
welcome in, Jizzo. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a great evening. Welcome into anybody who's come in. Anybody, if I missed anyone coming in tonight, I hope you're having a fantastic evening. And welcome into anybody watching the replay. Always happy to have all you replay folks. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Rosie's wish list. Do you think that she's doing a good thing by responding to her audience and giving them a way to send her gifts? Because we know that's what her audience wants more than anything. They don't want like her to actually fulfill her streaming obligations. They want ways to send her more crap.
so happy I can get you something on there. Thank you so much, Teakwood. I have that mama can opener. It works well, but goes through batteries really quick. Oh, okay. Good to know, Katie. We do have a big battery caddy that quite honestly, I don't think we use enough of. So that would be good because, I mean, those batteries probably still have a good 4 to 5 years left on them. But we have like, I think it's called a battery daddy. Like that's the name of it. It's just like.
Okay, so I'm going to fast forward just a little bit because there's so much in this stream. So we're going to fast forward to her talking a little bit about the upcoming holidays, just a little bit. It's hard to find the spots because there's so much. This stream is 5.5 hours long, so moving this little, moving the cursor by like 1 pixel changes it by like a full minute.
A lot of it has to do with the fact that she lives about an hour away, and I lost my car. But I used to hang out with her a lot when I would go to the Glamazon events.
She lost her car. Just got stuck in one of her folds.
Plus size events in the Tampa area. That's a long time ago. I fucking hate fireworks, bro.
She hates fireworks, probably because why do you hate fireworks, Rosie? Because other people like them? Because you want to be special? Or let me guess. The fireworks trigger her PTSD because she probably grew up somewhere where there were a lot of like gunshots, right? Of course, that's what it is. She, they trigger her. And no disrespect to anybody who actually does have a sensory issue or something. But I just feel like Rosie's just talking crap again, right? Like we all know how she is. And of course, let me mention that. No disrespect to anybody out there who really is dealing with a lot of issues or a lot of trauma and stuff. I'm not trying to make light of serious subjects, but we know that Rosie is a fantasist. We know that she exaggerates. We know that she's always going to make herself into the biggest victim. We know that she lies. She just straight up lies, right? So just take that into consideration if I'm sound a little harsh with her. If you're not familiar, look this lady up if you think I'm being harsh with her.
I think these plans are before sundown, thank God. I'm not gonna say details, but she's hosting like a beach party, and so I think there may be people there that I know, and I'm thinking about going. I'm really nervous because of a lot of factors, but it's set up at a place where there's like a pavilion, and I know I have a camp chair that's weight rated for me. I just don't use it a lot because
Okay. That's why she's nervous. Go in there. There's going to be a lot of people she doesn't know, or people she does know. I love it. Most people are nervous when they go somewhere because there's going to be people they don't know. Oh, I don't know anybody. What are they going to think of me? But Rosie, on the other hand, is nervous because there's going to be a lot of people she does know. There's going to be a lot of people who know me. So I don't know if I want to go there, Isn't that the opposite of how it's supposed to work? Like, oh, everybody there knows me. Oh, crap, I don't want to go there. That's how Rosie, she's basically the opposite of a normal person. But of course, her other concern is the furniture rated for her weight. I mean, it's on a beach, right? So, I mean, they probably are expecting people who are going to weigh less than 400 pounds, 500 pounds. Although she does have her own chair she can bring. So that's good.
I haven't had the opportunity to yet. I've used it a few times, but not, honestly, probably pre-YouTube, to be fair. Okay, so do the items come off the wish list once bought so you don't get a ton of just one thing? So the way that I do it is when I receive something, I remove it. Because and by the way, if something says it's purchased on my wish list, there's a high chance that it's not because trolls are going to troll. So I handle that.
And of course, Rosie, if there's any trolling going on, Rosie can't just ignore it. She always has to bring it up and explain exactly what's going on and make sure to acknowledge the trolls, and every single thing they do. So trolls, just want you to know you're seen and you're effing valid. Rosie sees you.
And, I wouldn't be too worried about that.
You can see me right now. I'd be pointing at, you'd see me pointing at my eyes and pointing back at you. I see you, trolls.
Most of the things on my wish list are things that, not everything, but most of them are things that if I got duplicates of, like the fake nails, things like that, or like my shampoos or whatever, I'll use them and I'll remove them at that point. But I have to do it a certain way because if it's removed automatically, then my wish list.
Duplicates of shampoo. She's going to use duplicates of shampoo. I doubt that. I think she might use the nails, but the second bottle of shampoo, I mean, she's just gonna bring it back and try to get a cash back for it.
It just gets cleared out when the trolls do what they do. So I have to do it this way because I don't have another choice. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not super motivated to celebrate the 4th of July for the holiday, but I would like to see this.
In Rosie's case, they're more like depress on nails because those things are depressing. Like they're just sad looking nails, depress on nails. And of course, now she's going to explain why she doesn't celebrate 4th of July. Let's hear why.
So I have to do it this way because I don't have another choice. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not super motivated to celebrate the 4th of July for the holiday, but I would like to see this friend and I would like to go to the beach because I'm serious. I think I've been to the beach once.
No, I can understand. She doesn't celebrate 4th of July. I mean, to be fair, she's so oppressed and underprivileged in this country. I could see why she doesn't, why she's miserable, why she doesn't want to acknowledge it anything, in any way. If anybody as oppressed and underprivileged as Rosie certainly has reasons to be bitter on the 4th of July, right?
Since I moved to Florida, even if I don't end up walking on the sand or going into the water, I still want to go because, as I was saying, like they have an area set up like where the sand and the beach is optional. You don't have to do that part. So,
but Kris Jenner okay, your family has been very successful in this country. Your family are like celebrities. But if you were as underprivileged and as oppressed as Rosie, you would have nothing to celebrate. Okay, I'm obviously making a joke here, but yeah, it's pretty ironic that she, of all people who are gonna not, celebrate 4th of July, it's her. Right.
I'll play it by ear because the specific beach doesn't have, I forget what they call it, like the Modi ramp or something. It's a handy capable access to the beach. It's kind of like a paved way because my legs are super fucked up for multiple reasons. Plus,
yes, her legs are so messed up for multiple reasons. I'm sure we can't. Rosie, can you think of any of them? It couldn't just be that her legs are messed up because she sits in a freaking office chair for like 8 hours a day. I mean, think about it. Most people who have to work for a living do everything they can so that they don't have to sit in an office chair all day. I've worked in an office. Sitting in an office chair all day is uncomfortable. I would never choose to do it if I did not have to. When I had to use an office chair, I would regularly get up and move around. I would intentionally adjust my chair and my workspace in ways to minimize the discomfort of the office chair and give me opportunities to move. Rosie chooses to sit in an office chair all day. She's like somebody who chooses to work at a prison. Like she enjoys being in that chair, which is crazy. But that's why her legs are messed up. Just want to point that out. Her legs are not messed up because of, I mean, she doesn't even explain why, but Rosie, your legs are messed up because you don't use them all day. They're messed up because fat. So, I mean, if she thinks a handicapped beach is tough for her to access, I don't understand why. I mean, she gets on she's already in her walrus posture. Couldn't she just glide, just in the water and just slide straight up onto the beach on her belly, just like a walrus? So I don't see why she would need a special ramp.
My weight plus just my general mobility shit. So, sand is difficult for me to walk on. So
I'm getting memories of glitter and lasers. Difficult to walk on, yes, but you could slide. You could use your inertia, slide up the wet sand like a seal.
Oh. I live in the northern Tampa Bay. That's public information. I live in Florida too, and I never go to the beach. Yeah. No, rollator is not sand accessible. Yeah, the rollator. It might go with me for other reasons, but I don't know. I'm very terrified to use the rollator by myself in public. For the first time.
She's terrified to use it for the first time. Well, of course it'll be for the first time because she's never freaking used it before in public. Has she ever used it before anywhere? Has she even used it around the house? And why not use it around the house? Why not just use it a little bit? Why is she so averse to using this device that somebody in her chat was kind enough to buy for her? It's pretty shameful that she's going to complain about how her legs are all messed up, and she has a device that's specifically meant to aid with that. But no, I'm not going to use that. I'm terrified to use that in public. She's less terrified of breaking the furniture than she is of needing to use the rollator. Backward logic. All right, so let's fast forward a little bit because, like I said, this thing's 5.5 freaking hours long, so we're going to have to cut through portions of it. So let's go forward a little bit to right around here.
I think you can pay for the YouTube premium or whatever, and that does get rid of ads though. But I did work with my therapist about the agoraphobia.
Precisely.
I don't remember when it was. I don't know if I have an official diagnoses of agoraphobia. To be honest with you, I don't remember. I don't.
She doesn't remember. Okay. That's, to be fair, she doesn't remember. But what? She doesn't remember if she has a diagnosis of agoraphobiia. How do you not remember that? But Rosie, can't you check? Isn't that the kind of thing you could check? Can't you call your doctor and find out? I mean, seriously, why is she, am I the crazy one here?
I think I do because I worked with my trauma specialist about it. So, and she's the one that told me I had it, but she was a therapist, not a psychiatrist. So
she worked with her trauma specialist who told her she had it. But so your her trauma specialist must be very overburdened in the amount of trauma she has. She must I bet she gets a bulk discount on trauma therapy.
I worked with her.
And by bulk, I don't mean her physical bulk. I mean, she has a lot of trauma that she gets. I don't think she gets. You get my joke, right?
Professional about it, but
bulk discount.
I don't want to misrepresent that. So I don't remember. And that's just kind of the bottom line there.
So she just doesn't remember, folks.
Anxiety.
It's not her fault that she missed that. If you say she's not diagnosed, you're not just being ableist in one way, you're also insulting her for not being able to remember. So you're double ableist.
More so than I think social anxiety.
What's that? She doesn't think it's just social anxiety? Why not?
away from home anxiety more so than I think social anxiety.
Which is what I think it really is. I don't think she has true agoraphobia. I think she has what we like to call here agoralophobia, where she's just, self-conscious about how she acts and how she looks, and she realizes that people are, gonna mock her, or even if they don't mock her verbally or publicly, they're thinking, how lame she is and how awful she is, and she can't handle it. She can't handle the reality of she can't handle reality. That's why she doesn't want to go out, because it's easier to ignore reality when you spend 7 months at a time in your on the internet.
I'm ignoring your comments because people are here picking fights about shit I don't give a fuck about and don't want to talk about. This is like the 3rd or 4th live where people are just bringing up the same shit and trying to incite drama, and I'm here to chit chat and have fun with my supporters. That's why I'm ignoring you.
Did you hear that? Took 20. If you're being ignored, and I'll take 30 seconds to tell you you're being ignored. Thank you very much.
When you were in your room, it reminds me of the old days. Yeah. It's been a while since I've done this. Yeah.
I like that theory.
So, anxiety/phobia. Just curious your experience. What do you mean?
Rosie's a peen flare in the ass.
Toe beans. I'm also not an expert. I can really only discuss like what my personal experience is like.
Excellent point, Bloosh. Rosie talks a lot about how, and actually she does mention later on this very stream in a way I think is insightful, about how she has this identity of herself where all these weird fetishists, I'll say, because my stream the other day did get de-advertised, whatever it's called, for saying too many words that I'm not allowed to use. I don't even know which ones, because YouTube won't even freaking tell you. But yeah, so her identity is built on being this massive feedy, but she at the same time is very insecure. So it's like she knows deep down inside that it's all crap, it's all BS.
Oh, thank you, T-Quid. Hey, Gamer Girl, thank you so much for the super chat. Hello, beautiful Rosie. Hello, Gamer Girl. Hope you're having a good day. Love your live stream. Thank you so much for your support, love. I really appreciate it. Trying to give you a like, too. It's not letting me. Well, I hearted it, but... Rosie, I really appreciate your honesty and openness. It does help me. I'm really glad to hear that, April. I'm just going to call you April. How agoraphobia feels to you. So, yeah, it's for me.
Okay, here's the good part. So somebody asks, Rosie, how does agoralophobia feel to you? Notice how when she answers, she has to like close her eyes and look down. And this is sped up, so she sounds more natural. I'm not going to keep changing the speed. But it's only sped up a little bit. But notice how she kind of has to stop and think. And listen how she answers this question. A little bit sus, if you ask me.
I'm really glad to hear that, April. I'm just going to call you April. How agoraphobia feels to you. So, yeah, it's for me, it's like an extreme anxiety fear response that can come with leaving. Today, I knew kind of what to expect because I've gotten a P.O. box before. By the way, I was like a little worried because the last time.
Notice, so that's it. She immediately changes the subject when somebody asks her what it's like. She loves to go on at length about all of her problems and all of her conditions. But when somebody asks her, Rosie, could you explain how your agoraphobia actually feels? It's like anxiety. But about P.O. Box, let me talk to you about the P.O. Box. This girl loves nothing more than to perseverate on all of her ailments and traumas. So for her to gloss over it makes me think that there's an ulterior motive here.
When I printed the guide can come with leaving. Today I knew kind of what to expect because I've gotten a P.O. box before. By the way, I was like a little worried because the last time when I printed the registration information, the person at the counter gave me a little back and forth, but then it was okay. This time I went in with it, the girl looked at it, was like, oh yeah, perfect, no problem. And I was like, oh, fuck yes. So it went smoothly. We just, it was a real quick interaction. And then I showed my brother where to go and what to do this time. Because I think the best
You showed him where to go and what to do because you're going to make him go pick up your P.O. box. Ding, ding, ding. That's what's really, I just noticed that. She made her brother go there and learn what to do because she's not going to go to this P.O. box and pick it up. This is going to be Levi's job. Levi's got a new job. Thank you to whoever gifted this to Rosie. you gifted Levi with yet another thankless task. Yet another play time. He can spend time with his sister, and she can fill his head with paranoid delusions about stalkers. Quote, stalkers, because they're, yeah, we know what Rosie considers a stalker. A stalker is a guy she cheats on her boyfriend with.
For us to go about it is some days, like, it's better and more convenient for him to go either before or after work to get them than to coordinate with me on his day off for him to give me a ride to deal with it. So sometimes we might do that, especially if I have a lot of packages, but I just kind of like showed him how it's done real quick and easy and like where it is, so it's easier for him to have reference next time. But since I don't have my own mode of transportation, he's going to be the one helping me with that. So,
well, at least she's admitting it to her chat, because you know that eventually she gets caught out for it anyway, right? Welcome in, Marsha. Good to see you. Hopefully you're having a great evening. Marsha Pillypow 4671. Thank you for coming by. Ooh, good thinking, Miss Nat. Rosie doesn't do anything out of being nice. She probably did that as a way to get him to go pick stuff up, because that way she could say, "Oh, Levi, there's something for you at the P.O. box. Don't you want to go pick it up? Somebody sent you a bouncy ball. Somebody sent you a pack of pretzels. Don't you want to go pick it up? Oh, there's just a few things for me. Yeah, there's just, a couple 60-pound boxes of protein bars for me. But yeah, there's a comic book for you if you want to go pick it up." That's what it is. That's what it is. Right? Use the frickin' rollator. It's probably just right outside the house. Excuse me.
But yeah, like yesterday I was really, really anxious. I for a long time was a lot better about remembering to use like my head.
And just one more time, just want to make sure the audio balance is good. You're able to hear Roz clearly and me.
Headphones and stuff. Because one of the last times I left the house, like a few months back, I remember getting in the car and just like fully crying.
Does anybody remember Rosie's headphones? Like I know a lot of you folks watched her more regularly than I did in the past. Was that something she used to use a lot? Did she used to use headphones? Because now she's talking about how when she goes out in public, she has to use headphones to stop her from, getting her agoraphobia, to help interrupt the anxiety and help her deal better with her trauma in public.
And I forgot remembering to, for a long time, was a lot better about remembering to use like my headphones and stuff.
She was better about remembering to use them. You don't forget to use earplugs. I have sensitive hearing in the sense that I have good hearing. Sounds are loud. So if there's loud noises, I have to use earplugs. I don't forget to use them. Sometimes I forget to bring them, but I don't forget to use them. No, I never forget to use them. I'll say, "Oh crap, I didn't bring them. Darn it." But I've never forgotten to put in my earplugs. So I'm calling BS on that, Rosie.
Because one of the last times I'm not
gonna say, okay, you may forget that you have them and have them and forget that you have them, but you don't just forget about them. You don't just forget, that noise bothers you. That's not something that just happens. "Oh, I forgot that loud noises bother me." If loud noises don't bother you so much, Rosie, why do you have an issue with fireworks?
House like a few months back. I remember getting in the car.
What'd you say last time she left the house a few months back?
Was a lot better about remembering to use like my headphones and stuff. Because one of the last times I left the house like a few months back, I remember getting in the car and just like fully crying. And I forgot my headphones.
So she got in the car and just cried because she forgot her headphones. That was a few months ago, though. I don't believe Rosie would waste a cry and not record it. That she's not the kind of person to cry without recording it and putting it on social media. That's just, yeah, Rosie, I'm calling BS. If you had you just bawling your eyes out, you would have recorded it and put it up on every bit of social media you have. You'd have re-edited it and turned it into a music video. You would not have allowed that to go unrecorded.
Because this time I didn't cry and I didn't get like super freaked out because I put my headphones on, which helped with like the sensory issues stuff. And that helped me kind of just like stay calm And just kind of
Bloosh, that is one I did not know. That makes total sense. Of course, that's how Levi is, because Levi, seems like a good dude. Like he might. I'm not saying he wouldn't accept gifts, and there's nothing wrong with accepting a gift. I accept financial support on this channel. Speaking of which, if anybody is interested in a membership or would like to make a super chat, always very much appreciated. I also have a Cash App as well. If anybody would like to use the Cash App. I don't have the alerts for the Cash App, so if anybody does use the Cash App, I won't realize unless you tell me. But I do have a Cash App, and more than happy to accept it. But I don't, expect you to like pay for my dinner and stuff like that, Like that's just a little silly, especially the way Rosie begs. It's one thing to do provide services and say, hey, if you enjoy the show, I'd appreciate if you want to buy a membership. That's one thing. It's another thing to say, oh, I need money and I'm desperate and I have no money and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm so poor. I'm so underprivileged. Oh, I need help, but I don't know what to do. That's how Rosie does it. Okay. So let me just catch up on some of your chat here. Yeah, how often she gets out? Like every 4 months or so, every 5 months. She goes out a lot.
Process as I was going about the situation. And just, I also knew like the total experience was like 30 minutes or less, roughly. So like it was nice to keep calm and just keep focused and just get out of the house. And it kind of helps because I'm gonna have to leave the house for some stuff coming up that I'm not talking about until after the fact. And so this was like a good first step because it's always the hardest. Like I've been in this house for months and months on end without leaving before.
I have to ask, does she really hate Levi that much? Because to spend that many months in the house means that he has no peace. He has nowhere to go. This is his house too. Rosie, have you ever considered that he might like to have a little time to himself without you being there? And another thing, if you're going to be in the house for months at a time, why can't you bathe and wash up? That's like cruel to your brother. Like if you're going to be there for months at a time, you need to wash up. So yeah, that's
this is
just
not
awful.
The longest I've been. I couldn't tell you the exact time frame.
That's not even the longest that she's gone without leaving the house. At what point does her not leaving the house, like, I don't feel bad for her because it's by choice. She doesn't want to leave the house. She's framing it as if, oh, I can't leave because I have agoraphobia. No, Rosie, you are so lazy that you would rather just never leave. And you use agoraphobia as an excuse. I don't believe for 1 second that you want to go out every day. I don't think that you want to be out in public. You like staying home all day. And agoraphobia is your socially acceptable excuse.
Honest with you, but so then I'm guessing she gets paid more. Yeah. If you don't skip, I think it does help. But if you do skip, that's okay. I skip ads for people I support. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get back to the content.
So we're going to fast forward a little bit more. We're going to have to cut forward just a little bit here. Not too much, actually. Just a couple minutes. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. You know what? Actually, we're going to go back here. Hold on. Sorry. Whoops. Didn't mean to go forward so much. That's the problem with this 5-hour stream. It's hard to...
Just kidding.
Hard to find the precise spots when tracking.
That part of what I just said. Moral dilemma number 1. You discover you have the power to erase one person's memory of you completely. Who do you use it on?
Oh, and notice how she has this microphone next to her face. It's not on. The microphone is either it's not connected or it's not set up, because you'll notice that the audio does not change regardless of where the microphone is. The audio is always going to sound like kind of fuzzy and indistinct, as if she's using a laptop microphone, not an actual condenser mic.
Which stalker do I pick?
Notice how which stalker do I pick? Notice how she talks about stalkers. I thought she had a stalker. No, she has stalkers. She calls everybody a stalker. She wants us to believe that she had a serious, criminal level, life-threatening level stalker. Yet, she calls anyone who follows her online a stalker. That's an incredibly low threshold for stalking and harassment, Rosie. And rather than making me think that all of the reactors are stalking you, it's making me think that nobody's ever stalked you. Because if this is what you call stalking, you don't know what real stalking is. Now, in fairness, I don't think the reactors qualify as stalkers, even in Rosie's opinion, because she's not cheating on her boyfriend to have sex with any of the reactors. So I don't think it's fair to call them stalkers, because, you know, she likes to have sex with her stalkers. Likes to go out and visit them.
Sorry. Cut the cameras. Oh. 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 The people that I would want to do that for, I don't want to say their names.
Interesting.
Because I don't want to either give them the attention, the clout, the what have you. But there's a few people I can think of for that.
So we're going to fast forward just a bit here. Let me catch up on your comments real quick also. Yeah, wired headphones are just, the charging the batteries on the cord. I love cordless headphones. I like the idea of them, but charging the batteries constantly is pretty darn annoying. I'll admit I'm a bit of a homebody, especially when the weather's really hot and humid like it's been. That's what'll keep me home. When the weather's nasty, hot and humid, that'll keep me indoors. It's tough, Chris. When everybody thinks you're that hot, like, you know, you have to hide because you don't want to break people's hearts, right? Like she doesn't want to like make all these guys like feel bad and rejected, so she'd rather just hide herself rather than having to break their hearts. She just cares that much about all these others people. I guess men and women. She's bisexual, right? I shouldn't just say men. Okay, so let me fast forward just a bit, because now is my favorite part of the video, where she talks about her expenses and her financial situation as it relates to her health insurance. Because as a fellow Floridian, I know a little bit about getting insurance in the state of Florida. Whoops. Let me share the screen. Hold on.
So I think I'm going to film a pre-recorded haul video from the Amazon Prime Day deals. I haven't gone shopping like this in a minute. Let me tell you, I got some endorphins from it. I won't lie to y'all.
She hasn't gone shopping like this in a minute. She got some. Okay, there's different kinds of shopping. There's shopping for things that you need. There's shopping for things that you want. And then there's shopping because you're a spending addict. When you get endorphins from buying stuff rather than enjoying items for the use and for the utility they provide, if you're getting excited purely from the act of purchasing them, that is more like a shopping addiction. I mean, maybe addiction is too strong of a word, but more of like an issue with compulsive shopping. A spending addiction.Maybe that's a better word for it. I'm trying to think of a word for it. Compulsive spending. I'm sure somebody in the chat can think of better way to describe it. But I think you get to understand what I'm describing, which is Rosie talking about getting endorphins from going shopping. That doesn't sound like buying things that she really needs. Because I don't know anybody who talks about getting endorphins from buying a 5-pound bag of beans or, you know, chicken breast. I mean, nobody gets endorphins from that, unless maybe you're a bodybuilder.
I'm excited. I don't think I went super insane, but I did spend a pretty penny, but I got a lot of stuff.
And I just want to point it out, because I don't give a crap, but Rosie's always quick to call other people ableist. She's always calling people ableist. Ableist this, ableist that. Have you noticed how she always refers to things that are bad as being insane? She's always talking about this is insane, or my followers are insane. Why is she mocking people who struggle with mental health? Why is she being so ableist? You know, I'll throw it back at her. I'm not easily offended, but Rosie is, so she needs to watch her language.
A lot of them are repurchases. Some of my favorite things, some new things. So I get too much decision fatigue, real. Oh, my boyfriend is definitely not watching. So I also got a few things to go into his birthday package that I'm making for him. So I'm very excited about that.
All right, but in fairness, Blush, let me mention, it's different when you can afford it. It's different when you're not, you know, begging for money to go see a doctor. I mean, if you're begging for money to go see a doctor, I will criticize you. But assuming that you have your life in order, nothing wrong with spending some money. I'm talking about for people like, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think that is an important distinction to mention. It's perfectly fine to spend some money and enjoy yourself. But Rosie is somebody who constantly whines about poverty. That's the issue. You whine about poverty, it's a little bit disingenuous to go around just spending money for the hell of it.
Love the energy tonight, Rosie. Thank you, April. Yeah, I'm in good spirits. Do you get a lot of things from other people? It depends. I've gotten a lot of like Amazon wish lists. I've gotten a lot of Amazon wish list. Bitch. I've gotten a lot of Amazon wish list gifts. No, you're good, Farah. Thank you so much, Duo, for the jewels. Appreciate you. Okay, we got another moral dilemma from Niles. Oh, Lord. Okay, moral dilemma number 2. You're the last 2 people on Earth. You hate each other. Do you try to rebuild?
And I like it too, Marsha. Trolls are I love. There's different kinds of trolling. Most of what's called trolling in girl world is pretty funny in my opinion. So I love the pick.
I mean, I guess it would be you would want a little more context. So like, you would just need some more context, right? Because at the end of the day, am I going to be the kind of person that's going to be the one that makes it to the last 2 people?
Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. She's going to talk more about money and other stuff in a minute. But let's like I said, this is such a long vid. We're going to, I got a lot to cover tonight. Let me fast forward a little bit. And we're also going to do a segment on Foodie in a little bit. We're going to break it up with a little bit of Foodie, and then we're going to get back to Roz, because this is just such a good full stream. It hasn't even gotten good yet. There's so much more good content in this stream. I could dig this for like 3 streams I could do from this one. There's so much content in here. At least in my opinion, there is. I have so many good notes, I think.
See, yeah, someone's already gone on and done.
Well, then shop away. You've got Doc's permission.
The trolling.
Not that anybody needs my permission. That's a joke.
Thing, because like I'm clicking and like some of the newer items are getting the have been purchased alert.
Typical.
Imagine having that little of a life. I could never.
She dishes it out, but she can't take it. That's such a Rosie. She's always calling other people misogynist, ableist, racist, classist, all the ists. That's all she does. And she herself is just she's projecting. It's pure projection. She's guilty of all the things she accuses others of. Basically all the things she accuses others of. And what is this posture? She's using her chest fat to support her neck. This can't be healthy. This can't be good. This is like, if she was a walrus, she'd be stabbing herself in the chest.
It's crazy. But she hasn't said I could say who yet. She hasn't said anything, so I'm not going to. But someone just got me a lot of items off my wish list. Actually.
Somebody got her a bunch of items off the wish list. Fantastic.
So thank you so much. Like, how fucking cool. Okay. Yeah, so these are gonna remove. Oh, I'm so excited for some of this shit. Oh my god, how cool. I'm going to keep the hair clips on my list. I always need hair clips. Like, I could never have too many hair clips. TBH.
Excellent point, Blush. I want to know how much she thinks it would cost to go out of pocket to go to a low-income clinic for evaluations. At what point does the debt of going out weigh her level 8 to 9 pain flare? Yeah, and one more thing about those pain flares. 8 to 9 pain. I mean, just logically for a second. If 10 is the maximum pain that's humanly possible, like if a 10 is literally the maximum, then an 8 or a 9 would have you delirious. An 8 or a 9 would have you absolutely delirious, barely even able to think straight. So for her to talk about having an 8 or a 9 and just, that's such crap. That is such crap. I mean, yes, people can kind of get used to pain if they deal with it all the time, but a 9, it only goes up to 10. welcome in Cinnamon Girl 1978. Well, you may be a little bit late, but you're still in time for plenty of great content. Rosie just got a big shipment of goods off of her wish list. She didn't wish to be healthy. That's one thing she did not get. Did I pick the wrong timestamp? I thought.
Do you feel any shame begging people for stuff?
Here we go. Here we go. I thought I picked the wrong timestamp for a second.
Do you feel any shame begging people for stuff? No, because I'm not begging.
Yeah, no shame whatsoever. She's not begging. How are you not begging, Rosie? Let's let her describe how she's not begging.
Hell, I'm not even asking. I'm just giving them the option to give me a gift if they want.
Not even asking. That wish list is so not like asking. A wish. Does anybody want to look up the definition of the word wish? Isn't like one of the alternate definitions to ask? To wish for something is to ask for something? Isn't that pretty much like one of the definitions of the word wish? So wish list would be synonymous with an ask list. Ask list. A classless ask list. Yeah, it's not a wish list. It's a classless ask list. Say that 5 times fast. Is that ableist?
People have literally been requesting it to come back. So
yeah, people have been. She's only.
Linktree.
Oh crap! I missed. Let me go back. People. She's only giving her chat what they want. People have literally asked for her to bring back the wish list. You know, I mean, it's. Do you want her to not give her audience what they want? You know, excuse her for being a good channel and doing what her audience likes.
They want. I'm not even asking. I'm just giving them the option to give me. Do you feel any shame begging people for stuff? No, because I'm not begging. Hell, I'm not even asking. I'm just giving them the option to give me a gift if they want.
Good point, Blush.
People have literally been requesting it to come back. So if you have a problem with it, maybe just don't buy anything. That's really all I got to say about that.
It's a classless ask list for ass lickers.
It is really that simple. This is a common thing influencers and people online do.
You know where, okay, where did wish lists get started? You know where, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but the first time I can remember hearing of a wish list was with sugar babies. Sugar baby websites, the sugar babies, they would put up wish lists so their sugar daddies could buy them stuff. Maybe it's existed before that in other forms, but that's the first time that I can remember hearing about like just people on the internet doing wish lists. And it was people who were, quote, sugar babies. They would do the wish list thing. So is it a common thing for online influencers? I don't know if I'd say it's common, but it feels kind of like it depends. I think that if somebody has a very specific interest, like if somebody is, say, maybe a musician, and people in their audience want to send them, money and stuff, and they're like, hey, you know what? Don't send me money. I've got enough money. But if you want to send me, if you want to buy me something here, you can get me some music equipment or a gift card. I don't know, but I think you get what I'm saying. But it's not. But everybody just doesn't put up a beg list for crap, for regular crap. It's supposed to be for like stuff that people wouldn't think to buy.
It's not that serious.
Yeah, I agree,
it's
Cinnamon
really
Girl.
Appreciated, and it's fun, and it's an additional thing to do with my content. So
yeah, and also the strangers element, right? Like if it's like a registry for like a wedding or something, or people who you've known for a long, like I'm not gonna say there's never a time to put up like a registry of gifts or something. But just having an open list of, hey, if you want to buy me something, you could just buy me stuff on here whenever, just give me money, buy me crap whenever. It just comes, it's very classless, the way she's doing it, at least. And of course, but she's only doing what people ask, right? When people ask her to get the live content out earlier, when people asked her to stream live from Texas, when people asked her to not cancel the streams last minute, when people asked her to provide better audio quality, No, it's not my job. I don't have to do what you want. It's my channel. Well, people asked me to do the wish list. I mean, I'm only giving people what they ask for, right? All of a sudden, she's become so accommodating.
And it's really appreciated.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And it's an additional thing to do with my content, so.
It's a fun thing with her content. It's a fun way to send her more money. And notice that she's been in this exact same posture for over an hour and 20 minutes now. I could not sit like that. Like I don't want to be too presumptuous here, but I feel like most people, if you lay on your stomach for a long time, it's like it's uncomfortable, right? Like if you can lay on your stomach for that many hours in that posture, that's not normal for most people, at least.
Sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody does it. That's a good point. That's a good point. I do think that her bulk provides additional stability. It's like a walrus or a seal when it slides up onto the beach.
I think I got everything.
It has the shape.
Vanilla
that
powder is
supports
used
fat.
like an extract similarly. Seriously, no one is forcing them. That's my whole point, Jacob. Because it's the one thing that they can hyper focus on, toe beans, about like why they're mad about the Amazon wish list. It's one of the things they can hyper focus on and try to say I'm scamming people, which is crazy.
We're not saying you're scamming people, Rosie. We're saying that you're shamelessly begging. You scam when you promise stuff for memberships and don't deliver. That's the scamming element. This is just shameless begging. Nobody's called this scamming. At least I don't think so.
It's like actually psychotic.
It's psychotic that you can't see it's begging.
No, not. Well, actually, my brother just put chemicals in the pool, so I couldn't do a pool live. Also, they're harder to do later in the day. Okay, I think I removed everything that she just showed me. On your wish list now. Oh, thanks, Gamer Girl. Yeah, like if you guys want to, and again, if you would rather, so many creators have wish lists. They are so cruel to you. It's corny.
Yes, we're so cruel to this girl. First of all, I don't even interact with her in any way. I don't interact with anyone in her audience unless they seek out my content, in which case I'm happy to have you. I'm happy to discuss. If you disagree, if anybody from Roz's channel wants to come over here and debate, I'm more than happy to do so. Happy to discuss with you. As long as you discuss in good faith, as long as you debate in good faith, be happy to do so. Maybe you might even change my mind, right? You might convince me that I'm wrong. So yes, I encourage anybody from Roz's channel, if you want to come here to debate me, love to have you. Rosie, if you want to come here to debate me, well, maybe not Rosie herself, because she's just going to cry and scream and turn, try to make me into the bad guy. But if one of her viewers wants to like have a genuine debate, I'm down for it.
Clock it, Stinky. First of all, crazy sentence. However, true.
There's one more little quote here she does, and then we're going to fast forward again.
Y'all remember, some of you, actually a lot of you won't remember this, but I was trying to get a work from home job like late last year, and I interviewed for it. They said I was a shoo-in. They just needed to get the contract, yada yada. I got an email yesterday. Fucking like almost 8 months later.
That's awesome, because she's looking for a job now. Like that's such a blessing. She was worried about having to apply for work. She doesn't even have to apply. She already did it 8 months ago. Now all she has to do is accept. Isn't that fantastic news?
7-8 months later, being like, we weren't awarded the contract. Sorry. If you have data collection or debt collector's experience, apply here. And I don't have debt collector, and I would no. I never want to work in debt collection.
But no, she's not interested. They offered her a different position. She's not interested. And I'm not going to get into the debate, individual positions, whether she'd be good or bad. That's a whole different debate. But it's just rather disingenuous for her to talk about how she couldn't even look for work, can't even, and now they're basically offering her, not offering her a position, but offering her what you could consider preferential hiring. Maybe not preferential. I don't. You get my point. They're giving her an opportunity at the very least. So let's fast forward just a little bit. We gotta cut some out here. We're gonna be all night. I gotta cut out some of the less choice comments.
Super specific, but I have the reference to the movie.
And again, notice how she's using the microphone and it makes no difference because the microphone's either not plugged in or it's not set up properly. And, she's giving everybody what they want. They want her to give her things through her gift list. They don't want good audio. Oh, wait a minute. Do we want good audio? Well, she can't give us that.
You've got a good
Not unless you buy her a new laptop, right? She needs a new laptop to give us a better quality stream because she can't turn on the microphone with this laptop. She doesn't know how to do that.
And sucks so bad. Yeah. I actually, so when I was talking to my mom earlier, she said something to me. I won't get super specific, but she just randomly out of the blue said something to me today that moved me to tears because no context. I didn't ask her to say it. I didn't
tell you with a comment here. Remember when ALR got the infamous expensive pie and bread? She said, I try to do something nice for you people. Meaning have that P.O. box available. Was that when people sent her the food and she got upset about it and she cried? Was that specific one where she got upset for the people sending her the food that, I didn't want this food? Because I don't follow Amber as much as the other Gorls, but if that's that incident, I do know that one. And yeah, that was pretty freaking shameless. Yes, be careful, folks. Laying in bed and weird positions, especially using a tablet and typing into it, you can mess your hands up. I ended up with tendonitis in my hand from doing that too much. Well, welcome in, Ryder Schaffer, Days. If you're new here, but glad to have you. Hopefully you're having a great night. Exactly, Blush. Nobody's telling her to find a full-time job. Just saying, Rosie, find something, make a few bucks so at least you can get your insurance, right? She says she cannot qualify for insurance without a job. Well, go get a job so you can get your insurance, right? Okay, I got my lore correctly. Thank you, Talia. Thank you for the reminder. Wow. She admitted that she's 718, Cinnamon Girl? I believe it. That is crazy that she finally admitted her weight and it's that high. So what does that mean? How much does Rosie weigh then? If Amber weighs 718, Rosie can't be that far behind. I mean, it's kind of a job. I mean, it depends how much you make, I guess, right? How much you do it. Yeah, exactly. It just depends how much you do it, how much you make.
I didn't prompt her, just of her own fruition, basically.
So here's a great little clip here I found. She talks about how her mom finally acknowledged something really, really important. She can't tell us what it is, but her mom finally acknowledged something super important and it made her life, made her day, whatever. Let's hear it.
I was talking to my mom earlier. She said something to me. I won't get super specific, but she just randomly.
She won't get super. She always does this. Something really important happened. I can't tell you all the details though. Something really big just happened, but I can't get specific.
My mom earlier. She said something to me. I won't get super specific, but she just randomly out of the blue said something to me today that moved me to tears because no context. I didn't ask her to say it. I didn't prompt her, just of her own fruition. Basically, she shared with me something where basically she just, to put it in a more roundabout, non-specific way, that she saw, or she now understands that who she thought I was when I was a child, her perception of me wasn't accurate because of information that she didn't have at the time. And
Rosie, could you be any more convoluted with how you're talking right now? You're saying everything but saying nothing. She always does this where she alludes to something in a very obvious way, and then if anybody tries to draw a conclusion and say, well, Rosie, are you implying that your mother acknowledged that you have autism? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Why do you think I said that? What makes you think I said that? Like, then she gets all defensive if anybody actually, thinks that she says what she said. Like, she does this crap all the time where she'll say something and then be like, well, I never actually said that. So listen to how she words this. She words this in such a way that she technically says nothing at all, but she kind of says, it's one of those things where you hear what you want to hear because she doesn't actually say anything.
Like a more roundabout, non-specific way that like she saw, or she now understands that who she thought I was when I was like a child, her perception of me wasn't accurate because of information that she didn't have at the time. And she said some more stuff.
Yep. At the time, she didn't realize that Rosie was a complete narcissist because she didn't understand narcissism as well. She didn't realize that a child could be narcissistic or pre-narcissistic. But now that she knows that, she finally acknowledged Rosie's narcissism. Is that what you mean, Rosie? Well, you're not really making it clear. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe she finally acknowledged Rosie's agoraphobe. That's what it is. No, maybe she acknowledged her lack of a neck. Her butt cleavage. What did she finally acknowledge, Rosie?
That kind of made it a lot more like heartfelt, but she essentially acknowledged something that I've wanted acknowledged my whole life. And like she did it like out of nowhere. And I was like blown away. And I talked to her a bit about that because I say it often, like when it comes to the rebuilding of my relationship with my parents that we've had, like we have an extremely open, honest dialogue. Like I don't hide shit. They know about my past.
You're not honest or open with anybody, Rosie. I refuse to believe that you treat your parents that much better than anybody else. If anything, you seem to treat them worse than the average person.
To know the gritty details, but they know about it. And they love me anyways, and they support who I'm growing from and who I'm becoming. And they
support who you're becoming? I mean, you're becoming a bed-bound paranoiac. They can't possibly. Actually, I take it back. They do support you. Your father supports you financially. Your mother supports you emotionally. And your brother supports you, as far as doing chores around the house. So, yeah. All three of them, all of their work goes to supporting you in a very literal sense.
Oh, who and how I am. But
that's a great comment also.
It's funny because she said that not long after, because I told her how
great point, Talia.
I happened to come across something today because there's like a lot of discourse about me because God forbid I say I think I'm self-determined autistic, but the entirety of the internet wants to diagnose me with some bullshit that essentially invalidates all my struggles and things that
essentially invalidates all of her struggles. Rosie, don't you realize that it's whether your struggles are valid or not is not entirely determined by a single diagnosis? There's no diagnosis that you're going to get that's going to change anybody's opinion of you that much. At most, somebody will say, hey, I guess I was wrong about that one detail. But nobody, your struggles your struggles aren't valid because you're full of crap. And whether you get a diagnosis or not will not change that. You're still going to be a liar and a grifter. And there's no diagnosis that's going to fix that. And yes, Kris Jenner, they absolutely enable her. Your daughters were all very productive from a young age, right? They were all like doing talk shows and like reality TV shows and stuff. Rosie could use a dose of that. She needs a momager in her life. Why did the relationship fall apart in the first place? Good question, Talia. Rosie is not 100% clear about that. From my understanding, I mean, let's be straight up here. They failed their daughter miserably. Rosie was 500 pounds by the time she left high school. That is neglect to the point of abuse. Hopefully my show doesn't get demonetized for that, but whatever, I got to say it. Her parents failed her miserably to the point where I would call it neglect to the point of abuse. But yet she's not mad at her parents for that. She's not mad at her parents for feeding her to the point where she was, her body was wrecked. Her psyche was wrecked. No, she's mad at them for not acknowledging her, she's mad at them for not enabling her invented diagnoses. Oof, blush. If they actually said that, I totally believe that. Just interesting to know they actually said that up front in a stream. That'd be amazing if they did. Well, Kris Jenner, Rosie apparently is against weight loss surgery, not for her parents, but she's against the idea of it. She thinks it's dangerous, and she thinks it's body. What'd she call it? She called it body self-mutilation. She called it self-mutilation. All right, so let's keep going here.
With, and that apparently my parents secretly know this, and just, you know, the conspiracy theory, fucking batshit crazy shit that people do on the internet. And I was just telling her a little bit about it, and she just, like, you know, rolled her eyes and was like, yeah, you know, I'm you know, she was just telling me how she thinks I'm strong, and she's amazed that I still am online doing what I do with everything that I face. And
it's funny, that's what Rosie heard. Rosie heard her say, "You're so strong. I'm amazed you're still online with everything you face." I bet what her mom said was something like, "Rosie, I don't know why you stay online. Why do you put up with all that? I mean, you're stronger than me if you can do that, but I don't know why. Like, why don't you just get offline and go live a normal life? You know, you wouldn't, you know, aren't you tired of having to be so tired of having to be so strong all the time?" You know, and Rosie hears, "Rosie, you're so strong, you're so brave. I wish I could do what you do." Now, Rosie is upset because she feels that not getting these diagnoses, quote, invalidates her struggles. The only reason she wants validation is because she views the world as a victimhood competition. It's an Olympics, and she wants the gold medal, and she needs those diagnoses so she can qualify in the victimhood Olympics. That's what it is. She wants to win the competition, and she feels she needs those diagnoses in order to qualify for the event. Do you get my analogy there?
It's really sweet. I just really love the conversation with her, and if I went back to 16-year-old me and I explained to her what my relationship with my parents were like today, she would not believe me. She would not believe me.
That's what she calls it. She's so extreme and absurd that I don't think she believes it herself. I think she just says it just to be for shock value.
No way. So
right.
I'm just grateful because, and like I told her today too, like there's so many people in my age group and my peers that just the majority don't ever get that kind of experience. They don't have parents who are able to like self-reflect and take therapy seriously and have the nuanced side of both conversations, you know.
I will say that I think it's good that Rosie's acknowledging for once that she is privileged in the sense that she has two living parents who are willing to take the time to listen to her and humor her. And they do genuinely seem to want the best for her. However, they may have failed her as a child, but as an adult, it seems they're mostly just enabling. Yes, I do believe they want to help her, but they seem completely incapable of doing so, and their help is just enabling, and it's not helpful. Though I do think their intentions are good. I'll give them that. I think their intentions are well-meaning. Let me rephrase that. I think their intentions are well-meaning, but the reality is just purely enabling of the worst kind.
So you're thriving. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're able to have that moment with your mom. Thank you, Gamer Girl.
Just a pity party.
Yeah, it was a really nice conversation today. I'm not going to go into more detail beyond that, but you have a high dad soup tattoo? That's crazy, Chicken Parm. I got a lot to catch up with. Hold on.
Oh, blush.
Oh gosh, tooth. That's awful. I'm so sorry.
That is very possible too. We've seen enough interactions to know that Rosie will just kind of cajole and be aggressive toward her parents. And you know, every relationship has its own dynamic. Sometimes, you know, people can be aggressive. Some people are just aggressive by nature. They just kind of get loud. They, you know, like we've all, you know, maybe not we've all, but some of us have seen families like that where they just kind of get loud. They're aggressive. They're emotional, but they still love each other. Maybe some of us even come from families like that where they can be a little bit noisy at times, but it's well-meaning. Rosie's parents seem to be walking on eggshells. They don't seem like people who give it as well as they get it. They seem to just be doing everything they can to appease this girl, and she's very aggressive with them, and they're very meek with her. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not like it's not like they, you know, they yell at her and she yells back at them. It's more like she kind of just bullies them and they kind of just take it.
As long as people are adding commentary and adding to the content, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Is like I used to watch a lot of reaction content. I don't abuse the copyright system. I never have and I never will. Like that's not how I roll around here. I've had to do a few privacy stuff before in the past. Not one of them was in relation to me, but the other one wasn't. But other than that, like I leave it alone unless YouTube updates it to where they're gonna take that shit.
I want to believe her on this. I really do. I want to believe that she wouldn't sink that low as to file false privacy complaints or privacy strikes on content. But I believe Rosie is full of crap and she will strike anything she thinks she can get away with. Allegedly, she struck Zachary Michael the other day. She had an email that was sent to her from YouTube saying, "We've looked into your privacy complaint." She claims that the trolls hacked her email and made the complaint using her hacked email. That is unbelievable. That is unfreaking believable. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And even if it is true, I still don't believe it. You know why? Because it's so freaking unlikely that if the 1 in 1,000 chance that it really did happen, it still doesn't change my opinion.
More seriously, and they're gonna stop letting people pirate their membership content because they're losing money by allowing people to leak it, but they don't have something in the TOS to prevent it.
Oh,
so
speaking of membership content, I am going to give out some memberships in just a minute. So everybody, make sure you have the option to receive memberships turned on. I'm not actually sure where to set that. But if you do know where, make sure it's turned on. It's usually turned on by default, I believe.
With dealing with that, like I don't have a choice. Like it's either no memberships at all, or I just have to deal with it. So I choose to deal with it. Yeah. Is that about Goofy's son? If it is, I totally had a crush on him, and that's when I knew I was gay. That and Aladdin, real.
All right, everybody, get ready. 1 second here. I'm going to try to share them out. Let me see if I can get this working. Okay. 1 second here. Here we go. All right. These are given out randomly, so please understand these are totally randomly assigned, so whoever gets them, enjoy them. So who do we got here? We got Cinnamon Girl 1978, Steeler fan in Rhode Island, Becca Has Cats, Midwest Bird, and Lisa A 4308. I'm sorry, Blush. Next week, I'll be giving out more memberships. Hopefully one of them will hit you then. If anybody did not get a free membership this month, there will be more memberships given out next week and more next month. And there's always the option to purchase a membership. A tier 1 membership is only $2.99 per month. You get what you pay for. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming by, and welcome. And thank you to all of the channel members. This is a perfect time to say thank you to all of the channel members. Let me take a moment to do so. Yes, you're all very much appreciated. Thank you for all of your contributions. And thank you in particular to the Tier 2 channel members, Doctor's Associates, Canada Cool, and Glitter Files 69. Thank you to your contributions. And thank you to all of the to all of the viewers, all of the lurkers, and all of the people watching the replays. If you would like to help the channel in a way that costs absolutely nothing, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe bell, and share a link to the stream. That helps out tremendously. Okay. So let's continue on.
Yeah, it was very healing, stinky for sure. Healing parental relationships is the best feeling. Yeah, I can't. It's so healing in every aspect. Like, not even just like current self and current life, but like inner child shit too. You know. I don't. I think I lightly touched on this in one of my lives recently. I don't remember if I finished the point, but I was when I did a lot of my trauma work with this trauma specialist back when I lived in Omaha, I wrote out a list, and I wish I still had this list or a copy of it or a way to get it. But I basically wrote out like all of the things that I need to work on. Some were short term, but most of them were just like the long
How long is that list, right?
term, like big problems. There was a lot of stuff on there. The three that are relevant to this conversation was like the relationship with my mom, the relationship with my dad, and losing the weight, like the weight issue.
Wow. Rosie actually acknowledges her weight. That is like something I can't remember the last time I heard her do. And it's getting a little bit late, but we're going to run the show a little bit late. I don't want, you know what? We're getting so close to the end of this segment. I think we're going to do the foodie after this. Cause I mean, we're going to break this up about halfway through. So we're going to do a little more Rosie and then we're going to do some foodie.
And then when I took the time to kind of categorize it basically from easiest to hardest, the last three things on that list were the relationship with my parents. I'm not going to.
So let me fast forward just a little bit here, because I want to cover the part where she talks about her insurance.
Do you think you're afraid to lose weight? Absolutely fucking terrified, Lex.
She's afraid to lose weight. Notice she's not afraid to pass from her obesity. She's more afraid to lose the weight than she is to lose her life. Pretty crazy when you think about it. Although, I mean, her life is probably not like the best at this time. Not that every life has value, of course, but she maybe is so depressed, she's not thinking about it clearly. She's thinking about it in a bad way.
In my weight loss journey, the hardest thing was accepting that even losing weight, my body would never look how I wanted. Took a lot of therapy to appreciate where I am now. Well, that's awesome, Lavina. I'm glad you've gotten to that level of appreciation. A lot of narcissists either pretend... Wait, hold on. That's not the right comment I wanted to get to. Hold on. I never knew food was a comfort until about a year ago. I feel like if I was a comfort eater, I definitely would have ended up at a much higher weight than I ended up, which was just over 200. Yeah. Losing weight isn't easy. Look at the amount of people on GLP-1s to help them fight the urge to eat. Food addiction is real and dangerous. Intermittent fasting is the way to... intermittent fasting.
Rosie talks about intermittent fasting. She does not like intermittent fasting. Let her tell you now how dangerous it is, because she's not satisfied to do a stream without presenting some medical misinformation. So let her tell us how dangerous intermittent fasting is.
Food addiction is real and dangerous. Intermittent fasting is the way to... intermittent fasting made my stuff worse. I can't say certain words because of YouTube, but... Intermittent fasting is a case-by-case basis, can be helpful for people if you are a diabetic or you have pre-existing disorders in relation to food. I would not recommend it. You should listen to the professionals. I did not listen to the professionals, and I made my eating issues worse by doing intermittent.
She made her eating issues worse because she intermittent fasted for what, like 2 days? So in other words, she went skipped a meal once, and to this day, she's still suffering the consequences. It's like when she was in the mental hospital for 72 hours and she had to lay on her stomach. Remember that? I wish I had the clip for that, where she said that because she had to lay on her stomach in the mental hospital, to this day, she still has hand pain. Her hand pain is from that incident of laying on her stomach for 3 days. She's laying on her stomach for 3 days here, practically.
Fasting. So, yeah. Anyway, volume eating worked for me. Eating large amounts of low-calorie healthy food, that's helped me in the past for sure. Food addiction is definitely rough.
I don't believe you've ever eaten low-calorie foods. I mean, a large amount. Let me rephrase that. If you've eaten large amounts of low-calorie foods, the amounts were so large it didn't matter how many calories. I mean, 10 pounds of broccoli is not healthy.
Yeah, she was just asking if I was afraid, and I am. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings on that for sure. A lot of narcissists either pretend they aren't or like that they are. Because being ruthless usually gets you ahead as much as it sucks. Yeah.
Oh, good point, Elisa.
That's what I'm saying, Lavina.
That's a good point. I neglected to mention that. Of course, anybody with specific dietary needs or medical conditions needs to be more careful with dieting. Intermittent fasting, if you have diabetes, if you have other issues, you got to be more careful. But somebody who's in relatively who has an less complicated situation, it's a good idea in general. But that's fair, Elizu. I don't necessarily believe what Rosie said about it causing permanent issues for her, but I think that is a fair point about it not being a good choice for her for that reason.
Delete that just because of the word. I don't want it to get flagged, but you're not blocked. I just deleted it.
Exactly.
Celery salads. Ugh. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, the soundtrack to the original Goofy movie slaps 100%. We all exhibit narcissistic qualities. We're all manipulative sometimes. We all do and say shit we regret. Clock it.
Of course everybody does things that at times, there's a difference between occasionally doing something and it being your identity.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
let me fast forward just to drop. This is pretty funny how oblivious she is here.
Okay. One time. That's scary, Tooth. Oh my goodness. What about a melted candle? Who said anything about a melted candle?
Yeah, what about a melted candle? Who said anything about a melted candle? Rosie, you are the melted candle.
Melted candle.
You are the melted candle. Absolutely, Eliza. I mean, hardcore addict. She needs to make a small meal so she can stave off the hunger long enough to make a full meal. That's junkie behavior.
I don't see anything about a melted candle. I don't know.
Don't see anything about a melted candle. Look in the mirror.
To terms with the fact that fear is vanity. The big things that I think I fear about weight loss, to kind of move back to the question I wanted to talk about. And I'm coming to terms with the fact that fear is vanity. It's vain. It's a vain-based fear. It's about...
She's afraid to lose weight because she won't have her curves anymore.
My looks and how I'm perceived and how, not only by myself, but by others. And that fear needs to be worked through enough to not let it trump the health benefits.
She's so afraid of losing her voluptuous figure that she doesn't want to lose weight. The vanity.
Hey, yeah, we're in my room. We've just been chatting. Honestly, I'm having a blast. I've been yapping the whole time. Lots of things have been discussed. It's been fun. I look like a walking roast beef sandwich is crazy. I'm sorry. Hold on. I look like a walking roast beef sandwich because all the time I've gained and lost the same 100 pounds due to my... Yeah. I have to delete that comment. I'm sorry, because sometimes they are weird about commentation. Again, you can learn you can learn to love yourself in a new healthy body that lets you live a longer, happy life. Yeah. So no, you're good. I appreciate what you were saying. It's just there's certain words, like I deleted someone else's comment earlier for that reason. So it's not personal, but yeah, we're just chilling. I gifted 10 memberships today, Taylor. So we're on my computer. And we're like 2.5 hours in and I'm still yapping. I'm still going. So, but, oh yeah. So my fear of weight loss, it also like, I've been working through a lot of stuff and I don't know how much of it I'm willing to talk about publicly yet. But I will say like, I have a very unique perspective on this topic because of my past in feederism. And not only my past in feederism, but actually like just my past in like fat acceptance. And how my...
Very good point. It's such a dichotomy. She thinks that she got so much reinforcement from the feeders, but then she's agoraphobic because she's afraid of how she looks. And Eliza with an interesting point here. She doesn't want to lose her figure because it protects her from what she's trying to escape. I have heard of that before, where people who for whatever reason or another, they don't want to be seen in a sexual way. They don't want to be noticed by the opposite sex, either because they've been traumatized or for whatever, or psychological reasons, whatever reason. And the way they can avoid that, they think that if they make themselves fat enough, that nobody will be interested in them. And that's very, a very sad thing to think, a very sad thing to be aware of. So if that's is what's going on for Rosie, she absolutely needs some therapy because she's destroying herself. If that's actually what's going on, it's very sad, but that is something that she can address. And she, by all means, Rosie, if that's what's going on, you need help. You need help. And that, and I don't, and I talk crap on Rosie. I don't like her for her behavior, but I don't hate her, right? Like if she's struggling with something like that, I would love to see her get help and do better and stop behaving in such a detestable way.
Perception of self, the source of validation that I had for years, the like way in which I was regarded and treated in the fat acceptance and feederism communities. Something that I was warned of in my early days online that I thought was bullshit and that I thought wasn't true or a problem was I did somewhere along the way, couldn't tell you when, ended up having my identity of self completely tied to my fatness.
And actually on last weekend, last Saturday, I think it was, I did a stream where I covered her interview she did with the Ohio BBW Network podcast, where basically the guy's a feeder simp. In fact, that's what I titled the stream. I called it Feeder Simp Interviews X Sex Video Starlet or something like that. And she went on to say that when she turned 18, as soon as basically right after her 18th birthday, she started going on to these chat rooms and these websites and places that were full of these creepy feeder simps, and a lot of them were much older, much more experienced. She said she was a virgin at the time. She was very sheltered, very inexperienced. She came from what she calls a conservative religious background. And she jumped into these feeder chat rooms and she ate up the validation they gave her. And she established an entire sexual identity based on validation from these perverts. That is incredibly dysfunctional. That's very destructive. And it's really awful. And I pointed it out that she talks about how she talks about when she was 18, or how she left her conservative upbringing and how terrible it was. And maybe it was terrible. But going to these feeder chat rooms doesn't sound like an improvement. It sounds like she left she jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire. That is, if we take her at her word. But even if we concede that, these feeder chat rooms were a bunch of creeps. And to this day, she's experiencing negative effects from that.
And trying to detach that mentally so I can go through a weight loss journey and not feel like I'm having a complete identity crisis.
That's a great point.
Long process. And I am so much further now than I ever was. But yeah, validation sometimes comes from within. That's very true. That's the way it should be.
That's a great point. I mean, we all know, we all can realize this. I mean, and she must realize that on some level, that her identity is built on appealing to these pervert men. And I guess not all men, right? They're not all men. There's people like Emily, right? She's a female. But these people are perverts regardless. They're sick. And I'm not trying to lump all kink together, right? Like there's healthy sexual interests and things. I don't want to get into too sidetracked, but there's different kinds, and feederism is absolutely destructive. It's built around there's no positive outcomes. It's built around degradation and self-destruction, and it's not something that should be accepted. So I have no problem calling it out.
toe beans, but back then that's not how I was. Back then I was worshipped for my size.
You weren't worshipped for your size. No. Your size was worshipped. You were not worshipped. You were an unnecessary byproduct. They put up with you because they liked your appearance. They wanted a sexual object, and they had to, quote, worship you in order to gain access to you sexually. That's all it was. They didn't like you. They didn't love you. They didn't care about you. They wanted access. They wanted sexual access to you. And what you thought was being worshipped was, I don't want to call it grooming because she was an adult, but functionally it's similar.
Alana, no, I do not. That is something that Girl World is currently pushing with no actual evidence or backing, because to push that I possibly have that diagnosis is to help invalidate.
Thank you so much, Canada Cool, and good to see you again. And thank you so much for your super chat earlier. I didn't get a chance to thank you, I don't think, before you had to run. So thank you again for that very generous super chat. And thank you so much for coming by. And I appreciate that you agree with me.
My real life struggles and real life issues and symptoms. It's
I hope you're having a great night yourself as well.
Horrible. It's disgusting. And if I'm a horrible, shitty person for thinking I'm self-determined autistic, then anyone perpetuating the fact that I may or may not have HPD, that I may have HPD with, I did not say that a doctor said I had a personality disorder. I was misdiagnosed bipolar. I've never been diagnosed with BPD or any personality disorder. The fuck? When did I say that? What?
I love how she denies she has histrionic personality disorder while acting a little bit histrionic.
God, y'all are exhausting. Anyway, my point is, these people who are trying to attribute diagnoses that I don't have, that everyone in my life knows that I don't have because they know what I'm actually going with, and my medical professionals know what's actually up.
Medical professionals? I thought you didn't have insurance. You haven't seen a medical professional in years.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting for you to sit there and think that you can armchair diagnose me with HPD while telling me that all the years of research and experience and everything I've done and everything and all the medical professionals I've worked with is all bullshit because you know more based on what, my YouTube content? All right,
let's put this into perspective. All of her research, her years of research, is literally TikTok and Reddit. Her so-called medical professionals agreeing with her, her medical professionals don't agree with her. Her medical professionals have never given her a diagnosis for autism, and she hasn't even seen a medical professional in years. So realistically, the people on the internet alleging you may have a condition are probably working with more facts than you are. And if you want to claim that people who allege you to have HPD are so terrible, consider that maybe some of them say you have it, but most of them just say they think you have it. Nobody's swearing up and down that you have it and demanding that you get treatment. Maybe a few people are doing it kind of as a troll thing, but you're the one who insists that you have autism and that you need to be treated differently because of it. We're people who say that they think you have HPD. They're just going off how you behave, right? Because your behavior gives off more HPD than it does ASD. It's just how it is.
Go fuck yourself.
It doesn't get her the same. It's not as socially acceptable in her mind. She feels that autism is going to get her pity. It's going to get her. It's going to get her the status, the social status that she wants. And don't anybody mistake it for anything other than that. Rosie wants these diagnoses for the social status. She's not trying to figure out what she can do to work on herself. That's why she's so public about it.
I was pretty militant back then, Dad. Yeah. So.
Precisely, Cinnamon Girl.
I don't refuse to see medical professionals. I don't have insurance because American healthcare is fucking disgusting.
Here we go. This is the part I wanted to clue before I move on to Foodie tonight. As a Florida citizen, I can answer. I can contradict her lies here. So let's go through them one by one.
I'm
going to slow down the speed just to regular so we can really hear her clearly.
pretty militant back then, Dad. Yeah. So I don't refuse to see medical professionals. I don't have insurance because American healthcare is fucking disgusting.
No, she does refuse to see medical professionals. She doesn't have insurance because either she has not bothered to apply or because she has more income than she wants to admit. In the state of Florida, it is possible she is ineligible for Medicaid. However, through the Affordable Care Act, there is subsidized health insurance available to people who do not have insurance through their job and who are not receiving Medicaid. Therefore, Rosie is eligible. The only thing that would reduce her eligibility would be her income. If she earns too much money over a certain threshold, then it would decrease the subsidy she would receive. But she would still receive a subsidy. She would still have discounted health insurance, even if she were earning above the minimum threshold. She has access to insurance and she can apply right now. I just checked the other day. The enrollment period has been reopened. There's a special enrollment period, Rosie. You can get insurance now for $30 a month if you really want it. We want you to have insurance because we want to give you less excuses. But that's why you don't want it. So for anybody listening, of course, don't bother her. I will never encourage that. That's against terms of service. But Rosie needs to inform herself what's going on because she is very misinformed or she is intentionally spreading misinformation.
So this keeps coming up, and I don't understand why Rosie people think would fake autism. It's a tough diagnosis. She's trying to figure herself out. I think I have OCD, and I've never been diagnosed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. And she has memory issues. Her brain fog, her memory fog. She's going to get partway through the form and then forget what to write. And then she's going to forget what condition because she has all those concussions and brain fog.
Alana, I'm going to go ahead and block you because I just don't know if you're being willfully stupid to troll or you're actually that unfortunately talented.
We've got a comment here from Canada Cool. I got my medication on that website called HERS, and it was very affordable and super easy. I'm not aware of that website, but it sounds fantastic. I know in the state of Florida, as far as the ACA, that makes it very affordable to get health insurance. It's never been more affordable. But Rosie should look into that website as well. HERS, it sounds like a good deal. And she does have like a weird moving mouth. I think it's because the rest of her body doesn't move very much. So it's like she just has this moving mouth and the rest of her body's kind of like a statue. Just sits there like a big lump.
In the mind, but you can go. Because if you think of Amazon purchases enough to cover doctors, you're just fucking stupid.
No, Rosie, you're effing stupid. An Amazon purchase is absolutely enough to cover doctors. As little as $30 a month, and your copays would be $15. You spend more than $50 on Amazon at a time. It would absolutely, literally cover your doctors and your insurance. But you're a liar, Rosie, or you're the stupid one. You don't want to look up the data. You'd rather pretend that you're being oppressed than, go and help yourself and actually give yourself one less thing to complain about.
I don't have time for you.
Yeah, I don't have time for your facts. How dare you tell me the truth? I don't want the truth. I want to be enabled. Where's my mom? Where's my dad? I need enablers. Where's T-Drop? Or what? No, she has T-Wood or T-Coke or whatever that lady who sends her the $90 Willie's tonic. I need my enabling squad. Don't tell me the truth about what it costs for insurance.
But also, you're the one armchair diagnosing me. So unless you're going to pay for my insurance, shut the fuck up. That's really all I got to say.
Oh, okay. I was not aware of that. I'll look into that.
Yeah, getting some household items on sale versus avoiding thousands in insurance and medical fees are not applicable. Yeah.
Thousands in insurance and medical. Why, Rosie? What makes you think your insurance would cost thousands of dollars? Are you basing that on Reddit or TikTok? Because I know you base all of your information on there. Rosie, you're a Florida citizen. Why are you letting TikTokers from other countries and other states tell you how much your insurance is going to cost you? It's like you need to check the source. Rosie, I don't like you, but I don't hate you, and I'm going to be honest. You can get insurance right now, inexpensively. Go get it. You don't have to admit that you heard it from a reactor. You don't have to even admit you were wrong. You can make up some lie about how your eligibility only, changed. Or, you could lie if you want to, but just go get the insurance for your own health. Because as I enjoy cracking on you, I enjoy reacting to you. And if you go to the big buffet in the sky anytime soon, well, no, wait a minute, you don't believe in religion. When you're rotting away in the compost heap, I'm not going to have as much content to cover. I've already lost litter and lasers. Rosie, go get your health insurance. I don't want to lose you this soon.
I probably have an anxiety disorder, but fuck a diagnosis. I mean, if you have the access, you should seek, you should if you can. If you have the access to it.
Thank you.
I wish I had been able to do more before I lost my insurance, but...
More before you lost your insurance. Rosie, you may have lost your insurance, but the good news is you can find it again. All you have to do is go on the internet. It's there. Maybe that's not where you left it, but that's where you'll find it. And that's an interesting point, Elizu. Macroglossia. Does that mean her tongue is too big? And her teeth are misaligned, right? The big buffet in the sky where they serve pizza rolls, and pretzel dogs, and nacho cheese. All of her favorites.
I like how people think the small amount of stuff you bought yourself on Amazon will cover a doctor's visits. I know. And you also don't even...
Right? Like, why would you think that you could get a doctor's visit for less than like $1,000 in America? Don't you know how terrible America is? Everything costs like $100,000. If you're not a bazillionaire, you can't even afford to go get basic insurance. And now, I'm not trying to mock the plight of people who are uninsured. It sucks if you're uninsured, and I have a lot of sympathy for people who, for one reason or another, don't have access to insurance. But in the state of Florida, the insurance is quite available if you are able to access the resources, and all you need to access them is a computer terminal. You can use one at a library. You could probably do it. In fact, wait a minute, you don't even need a computer. There's a phone number you can call. You can call the phone number and somebody will guide you through the process over the phone.
I'm not sharing the details of my finances anymore. You don't even know how it happened. So just shut the fuck up. Like, I don't have the patience. It's hard to get an autism.
You're not sharing the details of your finances. What do you call that wish list?
Just for women, I hear it is, but I wouldn't know. Lots of my family are autistic from high functioning and low functioning. The girls always got diagnosed late. Yeah. And then people make fun of me for my typos and shit when I forget to proofread, but then tell me that I'm lying about having dyslexia symptoms.
Right? We make fun of her typos and then we lie. And then when she says she lies about having dyslexia, she is just so full of I almost cursed. She is just so full of feces. You're full of fecal material, Rosie.
God for fucking bid. You want to just like make fun of me and call me stupid when I'm like dyslexic. And I mean, I think my intelligence is clear. I struggle.
Your intelligence is clear. Rosie, your vocabulary, your language is incredibly unclear. You obfuscate with your words. You use the biggest words you can that rarely are appropriate. And she treats her language like she treats her dinner. She wants big portions and doesn't care about the taste or the quality.
With a lot of cognitive issues and a lot of things because I've had concussions and I have multiple issues.
I have a lot of concussions. I have a lot of issues. The only concussions she has are from the feeders slapping her in the back of the head back when she volunteered at that sex house. I've got a feeling those guys were riding her hard enough to give her whiplash. That was about it.
It's just, it is what it is. I was misdiagnosed with schizoaffective when I was really OCD. Oh gosh, Blended, that's crazy. How dare you buy press-ons nails, Rosie? That $8 definitely could have covered transportation, doctor's fees, and medication. Exactly. I also don't have a.
Hold on a second. That person in the chat thinks they're being funny, but the cost of the press-on nails actually would have covered the doctor's visit. It's only like $15 copay. So yeah, your press-on nails literally would have covered the doctor's visit. What you spent on one box of protein bars would cover your monthly insurance premiums. Rosie, you're a liar and you're full of crap. And somebody in the chat mentioned YouTube income. That's actually a good point. If her YouTube income is above a threat, if she makes enough money on YouTube, it could affect her subsidies and she could pay a little bit more for insurance. But she would have to be earning a fair amount before that became an issue. And if she really, and it's still way less than the thousands of dollars that she claims. It'd be maybe a couple $100 at most.
Car, so I have to either coordinate with my brother or pay for Ubers. Like,
oh, she have to pay for Ubers. More misinformation. Rosie, you can get your Ubers compensated. I have people in my family who are disabled, and they are able to sometimes get their Ubers compensated if they have no other way to get a ride. They can only get an Uber if they, I don't know exact details, but they had told me something about how they can get it compensated depending on the circumstances.
Guys, a lot of these people are just classist fucks.
Yeah, we're classist because we know how much it costs to get health insurance because we're classist because we actually look into things like finances. This woman is such a hypocrite. I would get upset if I let it bother me, but instead I just laugh because it's so absurd.
And I don't have the patience for it. Like, oh, just to go see a doctor. Yeah.
Yep.
What country are you in? If you're not in America, shut the fuck up. If you're in America, do you have a job? Do you have insurance? Cool. Do you live in Florida? Do you understand the fucking...
Yes, I live in America. I live in Florida, and I have insurance here. I actually know exactly what I'm talking about, Rosie, and I know that you are literally full of feces. Blow it out your booty hole. I know for a fact that you're just wrong on this one. Either you're not bothering to research or you're intentionally spreading misinformation yet again, which she's always doing. She's always spreading misinformation because she just reads stuff on TikTok and parrots it without any critical thinking.
Nuance to this topic.
There is no nuance. You can look this up and go get the insurance for less than what you're spending for your press-on nails.
America, shut the fuck up. If you're in America, do you have a job? Do you have insurance? Cool. Do you live in Florida? Do you understand the fucking...
Yes, literally, Rosie. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know people who are in your situation, and I know what they're paying.
Nuance to this topic. You're just being a piece of shit toward me because you think that you have some kind of gotcha on me.
I know I have a gotcha on you. We all have a gotcha on you. Rosie, why don't you look it up? If you really want to perpetrate this lie, the only way that you're going to be able to do it is by being silent. Because if you keep quoting this misinformation, I'm going to keep correcting you. And other people, the word's going to get out and everybody's going to start correcting you soon. If you want to perpetrate the lie that you cannot get insurance, you need to stop talking about it. Because the more you talk about it, the more it's going to become obvious that you're lying.
Because I don't have the resources that you do.
Well, no, you have more resources than some of us. And that would mean that you pay a little bit more for your insurance. But if you truly are in abject poverty like you claim, then your insurance would be even less money than it is for others.
It's wild, man. I did not have an IEP in school. I should have.
Thank you. Yet more information to contradict your information. Thank you very much. Now, Elizu, I had a theory, and here's my theory, that her parents put the house in her name and they transferred it into her name. So she has all of that as income and she has to wait a year to get that to get that income off of her record so that she can apply for insurance. That's my theory, that her parents signed the house into her name. So she has all that, the value of the house as income this year, which is possible. Or it could be, like you're saying, maybe she's pooling her money with the parents or something. There's something going on. She has way more money than she wants to admit, or she's just a complete idiot. Who's to say? She could just be a total idiot. Yeah, seriously, Blush. I don't like to talk, but I've had a couple concussions. I've certainly been knocked out a couple times. Thank you, Eliza. We're the classist ones, and she's buying the premium brands. Exactly. She buys all these pre-made expensive protein bars and crap. If she's so broke, why doesn't she buy like chicken breast, beans, tofu, like actual inexpensive food? She's just raging, full of crap. Exactly. A fake doctor to call out a faker. Who better to call out a faker than a fake doctor, right? Speaking of which, let me put my little disclaimer up. Seriously, if anybody has any Florida family members or anything, check in with them because we need to call this lady out. That great point, Elizu. She's eating for a family of 4. She's eating for a freaking family of 4. Thank you. Doesn't leave the house for months on end, but we're the privileged ones. She doesn't even have to leave her house. Canada Cool. You're spoiling me. You are absolutely spoiling me. For another big super chat from Canada Cool Pondu. Really hooking it up. Another $49.99. In my opinion, she actually loves her no insurance excuse. Because, let me get a sip of water. I'm sorry, my voice is going out. She actually loves her no insurance excuse. Because she probably knows deep down she would not be diagnosed autistic. Also, she lives in a very nice home in a nice neighborhood in the middle of a bird sanctuary with a pool that she doesn't have to pay for either. It's paid off. Her parents pay for the majority. She gives them what, like $200 a month for rent? So the poor talk is really old, played out, bunch of crap. Crap. She gets me angry when she talks about the insurance stuff too. That gets me angry. I mean, a little bit angry. I don't get angry, but it annoys me because there's people who listen to her who don't live in Florida and who don't, they don't know what's going on. And they hear and they think, oh my God, there's this poor girl because she lives in Florida. She can't get insurance. They're leaving her to die because they don't care because they're so heartless. And it's like, it's just not true. It's just not true. It's just not freaking true. Honestly, I don't know how much tofu costs because I haven't bought any in a while, but I know that it can be cheap. I guess it depends where you buy it. Like Elizu says, it depends where you buy it. But I know it can be cheap. And beans are definitely cheap wherever you go for that. So you can definitely get cheap beans at least and cheap chicken breast. Chicken breast and tofu and beans. That's always cheap, right? Okay. So let me just let this play a little more. I'm going to go grab a drink, come back, and we're going to do the foodie in just a second. But I'm going to let this run for a second while I do that.
I think I mentioned a while back, like there was a point where they considered putting me in special ed, and I was already in middle school by this point, or high school, possibly like early high school. Probably might have been early high school because my grades didn't really start getting affected till high school. Like I was pretty good academically up till that point, but I stopped being able to keep up in high school. And when it got brought up to me, I freaked the fuck out and was like, absolutely not, because I was so dehumanized so often. Like truly, I was treated like I wasn't human. Like it was horrid. And so at the time when that was brought up to me, I was like,
Sorry, everybody. I'm still muted. My bad. I didn't realize I was muted. Hopefully that wasn't for too long. Okay, so let's move on to the foodie section. My apologies. Yeah, I had it muted. I'm back. I'm back now. I muted for a second. My apologies. All right, I'm back. So let's go. We're gonna go on to the foodie segment for the evening, because as much as I love covering Roz, I am Rozed out for the moment. So I've got a segment on foodie. It's not going to be super long, but it will be, I think it'll be a good one to close it out with. It's Foodie's health info. She does a whole stream where she talks about her health. I think that's going to be an interesting topic. So let me pull this up. This is clipped from one of her live streams. And this is from Looney Foodie Beauty Channel. So let me pull this up. And Foodie's mic, as much as I crack on Foodie, her audio quality is so much better than Rosie's. And it's pretty crazy to think about, because Foodie's audio is always pretty awful. So it's pretty crazy how much better her audio is compared to Rosie's. Okay, so let's let it go in here. Hopefully I'm coming through now. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, coming through. Okay. So let's put on Foodles. All right. Is the audio on? Can we hear? Or is she just not talking? Oh, she's worried. She's looking at, she's texting.
Guys.
She's worried. The audio up?
Okay. Oh my gosh, I missed too many highs. Hi guys.
Oh, did she start, was she supposed to start a new diet or something? I have not been staying up with her so well. This is actually a 5-day-old stream here, so I'm not 100% up to date with Foodie. So anybody wants to update me, I appreciate it. One thing that stands out to me here is her skin is looking so bad. Her skin is looking awful. Look how red it is, how inflamed it is, how rough it looks, and we know she uses a lot of filters, and she's also wearing some makeup, and her skin is looking rough. Like, that's not quite as bad as glitter and laser skin, but that is not good. I agree with you, Blush. Compared to Rosie, she actually like puts in a little effort.
Okay. Hello guys. Why do you want to know if teardrops here? Yeah, I'm okay.
Yuck.
Hello
Yuck.
guys. So
Rosacea, though,
just
that
trying to
makes
think of anything.
sense.
Kidney function was okay. I have high testosterone. So he's like, you have PCOS. I'm thinking
Okay, I sped it up a little bit too much. Let me slow it down just a little bit.
I don't even have ovaries, but I have
Wow, she's talking really fast.
hello guys. So just trying to think of anything.
Oh, you know what? I think it's sped up already. That's why.
Kidney function was okay. I have high testosterone. So he's like, you have PCOS. I'm thinking I don't even have ovaries, but I have high testosterone. So, and
So we always suspected Foodie's hormones were out of whack. I mean, with good reason. Not a surprise. And poor nutrition will make that even worse.
ancient toddler. For a woman, yeah. But I mean, I had a hysterectomy, so that's expected. Yeah, whenever you're like obese, that happens. So,
I mean, there's levels of obese. Being obese doesn't automatically mean you need to have a hysterectomy. I'm not an expert on the subject, but I just know that like levels of obesity definitely play into it. When you're as big as Foodie, obviously it becomes a lot more likely. But of course, good health, no substitute for good health. And
I probably have more testosterone than the men in Gorl at this point.
That's a funny. Okay, that's a good own. That's a funny one. I mean, probably some of us.
So of course, my A1C is 10. It's like super high. And
Oh, what's that at the bottom? This is bad. So our A1C is double. What'd you say it was?
testosterone than the men in Gore world at this point.
And
So-
full disclosure, I'll mention it because I'm not ashamed. I actually went on TRT in the past. The doctor said my testosterone was a little bit low, not like, alarmingly low or anything like that, but it was like, you might want to try some TRT. It could be beneficial to you, kind of thing, where it was, it was suggested, but it wasn't like, insisted upon. And I did use it for a while, and it actually did. I think it was good for me. I used it for like a year or so, but I had a change in my insurance status, right? I got my insurance back now, of course, but had a change in my insurance status, and I just got tired of injecting that crap. It was just, I was tired of injecting it, and just, I kind of stopped taking it and just never got back on it. So that's my story about hormones. So right now, she might have more testosterone than I do at this moment.
So of course, my A1C is 10. It's like super high. And
I will say, back when I was on that, I got really muscular back when I was taking that stuff. Although I was also working out, but like it definitely made a big difference. So what? I'm sorry, I missed it again. I got so caught up.
in Gore world at this point.
Her A1C.
So of course, my A1C is 10. It's like super high.
So 10, double what it should be. I think they said between 5 to 6, if I'm not mistaken, was like a healthy score. And A1C is like a blood sugar measurement. It's like a long-term measure. It's like a measurement of blood sugar over time, if I remember correctly.
And everything else that was okay. My thyroid, my liver, my kidney function was okay. It was good.
Her liver and kidney function was good. I don't know about that. When they say good, I think they mean that they were working, that they weren't like failing. But I've got a feeling that even her numbers were probably in an unhealthy range. They just weren't bad enough for the doctor to say that it was a problem, at least compared to her other problems.
Blood pressure was like 140. I don't remember the bottom number.
Yeah, I agree, Canada. Cool.
Liver was fine.
Blood pressure 140, doesn't remember the bottom number? I don't believe that. Unless her blood pressure is being heavily controlled with medication, I don't believe it's only 140 over something. 140, okay, ideal blood pressure numbers, and Elizu or somebody who's good with this stuff can correct me, but I believe 120 over 80, at least for a man, is considered a good blood pressure. I'm not sure for a woman it might be a little different, but my target range is 120 over 80. So 140 over 100 would be considered pretty high, but it would not be like dangerously high. It would be, hey, your blood pressure's high, you got to watch it. But I would imagine her blood pressure, with her body weight, her blood pressure would have to be like 160 over 110. Like, I don't see any way it could be like 140 over 100. I don't think, and I'm saying, like, her blood pressure's got to be high. It's got to be high. I mean, look how red her face is. It could just be from rosacea, but I'd be surprised if her blood pressure wasn't high.
Cholesterol was okay. There was nothing remarkable. So as for medicine...
let me take a moment to sound smart. PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I've looked it up before. So for anybody not aware.
Estrogen. He's getting back to me because he's like... Yeah, nothing. I had no issues other than, except of...
Right. It's not bad enough.
No, I didn't get I don't know if they did B12 or potassium. I don't know.
It does feel good to
I
have
just
good...
thought of it now. When I thought of testosterone and being live, I thought, girl, men probably also have low testosterone. No, I mean, I'm not healthy as an ox, but... So... He's going to figure out, he wants me on... So I'm back on Ozempic, because Mount Jaro.
She's on Ozempic. This is a good part here. I previewed this a little bit. And that's interesting. They changed the name. I mean, maybe it's a more scientifically accurate name. Okay, here's the new name. Polyendocrine metabolic disorder. All right, so now I got to catch up with the new one. Yeah, 10A1C. That's double what is considered a healthy number. But even then, I'm surprised it's not even higher, right? She has been taking her insulin, so maybe that's helping her to keep it down more normal range.
And
so here she talks about, so Foodie here mentions she's been prescribed a GLP-1 medication. She was on one a few months ago where she said that she was started on a very low dose and they were going to titrate the dose up. They were going to increase the dose over time, but she never got to that point. And this always happens for her, where the doctor says, oh, you need to do something for your weight, for your appetite. Let's get you some medication. They put her on a medication to reduce her appetite. And then they say, okay, we'll increase the medication over time. She never gets to that point. She always quits the meds before it gets high enough to help her because she doesn't want to stop eating. Because eating is an addiction for her. It's an emotional crutch. It's a mental thing.
So I'm back on Ozempic because Mount Jaro and Wegovy are not covered, and it's like $500 a month. So Ozempic is covered, but I'm still I had to fucking pay out of pocket for this shit today. Another $400 till my fucking receipts get submitted.
Welcome in, Nutty. Good to see you, Southern Squirrel Gaming. Hopefully you're having a great night. No worries, Nutty. Glad to have you. Better late than never, of course. I'm doing a little bit longer episode tonight. We were covering Rosie. We just switched up to Foodie, covering her health situation. Yeah, but great to see you tonight.
Like once another $400.
Oh, and this is and Rosie's always, and it's so funny. We always talk about the cost of medical stuff in America versus Canada, and Foodie is going to be out more money than Rosie would be if she were in Florida. We always like to crack on Florida's healthcare and talk about how great Canada is, but in this moment, in Florida, Foodie would probably be paying less money than she is in Canada. I mean, I don't know about long term, but just for this one doctor's visit, she wouldn't be out the $400.
Oh, and we'll go once. No, I mean, I'm not healthy as an ox, but so he's gonna figure out, like, he wants me on. So I'm back on Ozempic because Mount Jaro and Wegovy are not covered, and it's like $500 a month. So Ozempic is covered, but I had to fucking pay out of pocket for this shit today. Another $400 till my fucking receipts get submitted. Like once it can take like 10 business days. So and I just spent like hundreds on my insulin. Once my insurance kicks in, I've already.
Okay, so her insurance has not kicked in yet. So Foodie, when Rosie likes to talk about people with the luxury to not have to worry about insurance, she's talking about people like Foodie. Foodie is blessed to have enough beezers in her chat who send her money, where even though her insurance is not enabled at this moment, she's just able to pay out of pocket, and God bless her in that way. I'm happy for her, I guess, but I feel bad for the people in her chat who donate this money to her, thinking that she needs it when she's really just exploiting them.
I way overpaid my deductible. So they can take their sweet time all they want. I've submitted the receipts. It takes like 2 weeks almost. But they have to recognize that I paid the deductible. I submit my receipts online to the government. $400 is enough for crack. I don't spend $4,000 on DoorDash. Get a life.
She laughed at that, like, yeah, the 400 would be enough for crack. Yeah, why didn't I think of that? Like she didn't seem to be like, I don't know. I felt like she should have denied that and been like, it's cheaper to buy crack. No, it's not. Crack's terrible. Don't buy that. Like, instead, she's like, yeah, it would have been cheaper. I should have got that.
And I don't want to spend that.
What'd you say about DoorDash?
400 is enough for crack. I don't spend $4,000 on DoorDash. Get a life. And I don't want to spend that.
Well, Foodie, I mean, over how many weeks, right? But seriously, agreed, Blush. They spent a fortune on DoorDash. I think a receipt. She once like doxed herself and showed a receipt or something, and it came out to like $500 a week or something crazy. It was like over $2,000 a month on DoorDash. It was something insane. Or maybe that was Amber's bill that was $3,000 a month. But I remember one of them had literally thousands a month on average, which is, I mean, I believe that, you know, if you have money, you can spend it. It's your choice. But if you're getting money from a community and they donate to you, quote unquote donate, I think you have a little bit of an obligation to spend that money responsibly.
So anyways, and then I got a Dexcom thing, like not a Dexcom, well, it's like another brand, but I got a continuous blood glucose monitor thing. I wasn't tested for that, oranges.
And that is why, Elizu, that's why Amber uses washcloths, because that's why she's able to save money in the long run. Doesn't have to make such a tough decision. Yeah, I agree, Blush. Rosie is so awful that she makes Foodie more tolerable by comparison, which is pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, Libre 2, I think it's called.
So that's her medical glucose detection device?
Anyway.
Her blood sugar detector? I'm not sure exactly how it works. Is that like an always-on meter? Like, is anybody familiar with that? They can share how it works?
Yeah, on the back of the arm. Yeah, I told him I didn't do well with Ozempic, but I'm starting at 0.5 and I'm going to work my way up. I think it just wasn't a big enough dose, but I have to give it time.
That's what I didn't do well on Ozempic. Foodie, you didn't take a full dose of Ozempic. You took such a tiny dose, it didn't actually work. And what happens every single time, and this is my prediction, what's going to happen yet again, is she's going to take the Ozempic, she's going to take a small dose, and it's not going to do anything. And then she's going to increase the dose a little bit, and then she's going to say, oh, yeah, the Ozempic made me sick, so I had to stop taking it. That's what she does every freaking time with all these weight loss medications. She does the same BS. She takes a tiny dose, it does nothing, she increases the dose, and oh, I had to stop it because it made me too ill. Gave me nausea.
Yep. Yeah, but it's not that hard.
Foodie can be funny
Should I get the
sometimes.
alarm going off? Yeah, it's like an app on your phone. So my insulin, I have to basically wait for him to call me to pick up a receipt, a prescription, because like, he wants to figure out like the proper dose and medicine. Like
So the doctor's prescribing her a new dose of insulin. He's redosing. And Eliza, yeah, she can be funny sometimes. A good example, that crack she made about having more testosterone than the men in girl world. That was legit funny. That was legit funny because she was able to make fun of herself, and she made fun of the reactors, and it was also something that is kind of like based on truth. That's like the kind of stuff that Rosie couldn't do. So I don't want to like praise Foodie too much, but yeah, she actually made a funny joke, which Rosie never really does.
Putting me on a short-acting
So the doctor here is changing her insulin prescription. I think that's interesting. Considering in the past, she only took it when she, quote, needed it.
To call me to pick up a receipt, a prescription, because like, he wants to figure out like the proper dose and medicine. Like he's putting me on a short-acting insulin as well as the long-term. So he's trying to figure out like what dosing to start me on, and he needed more time to look into it. So, plus with the Ozempic, like he doesn't want my blood sugar to crash with all three of those. But he's like, you know, until you get like you're eating under wraps.
Blood sugar to crash from all three of those? Exactly. And here we got from Looney Foodie Beauty, the editor here says, fix your diet, you moronic cow. Insulin alone is not going to lower your sugar to a healthier level. I mean, insulin is of course, insulin's going to help, but without the diet, it's not, it's really, it's just a Band-Aid.
He's like, you know, until you get like you're eating under wraps.
She didn't want to say it. Notice how she like started saying it, but then she kind of, it's like, well, he said once you get your eating under wraps. She didn't want to acknowledge that the doctor told her you have to fix your eating. She didn't want to acknowledge it.
I'm gonna try the Ozempic, like give it a good go, like titrate it up, and then if that's not really effective, then he'll refer me for like weight loss surgery. But he didn't want to go with like right to the invasive route, is what he said.
Wow, that's a big milestone, what we call it, a big cup of tea. That's what we'll call it. That's a big cup of tea. Use the girl world terminology. She will never pass the required therapy demands for surgery, according to Looney Foodie Beauty. She has seen my 600-pound life and should know. I am in agreement on that. There's plenty of people in the chat here who've had weight loss surgery. Anybody who has understands that you have to do a therapy component, or maybe a psychiatric component is a better way to describe it, where they have to make sure you're a good mental candidate. You have to have your food addiction under control. They don't want to give you the surgery and set you up for failure, because that happens. We see it on 600 Pound Life, where somebody will get the surgery and then they will gain weight afterward, or they won't lose anything. I actually knew a guy, very sad story. He was very, very heavy, very fat. I don't know exactly how big. I didn't know him like super well. He was kind of like I knew his ex-girlfriend kind of thing, or his ex-wife, whatever. But he was like really fat, and he got weight loss surgery. And then he ate so much that the surgery like ruptured. He had the gastric bypass, and the stomach, like where they stitched it together, it ruptured, and he almost died. And I think he eventually did pass later. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but that's a very, it's very sad, very tragic to think about. And they don't want that to happen with Foodie. So that's why they're hesitant that's why they won't just give the surgery out.
So.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was good too.
Basically, like, it slows down your digestion.
Oh, wow, Kris Jenner. I missed that there. That's, respect to you, though, for doing what it takes, right? I mean, it sucks that you had to, but bless you for doing what it takes, right? I respect the resolve, right? In fact, let's put some hearts in the chat for anybody who's really really doing what they have to do to be successful with their health. I know we got
peanut oil, of course I did.
We got a lot of people in this chat who overcome addiction, who've overcome obesity, who've really worked on their health, their mental health, their spiritual health, all that stuff. So let's put some hearts in the chat for all you strong people.
I have to install it. I have to take the time to, but I have basically like 1 month worth right now, because so I submitted my receipts online for this. Oh my God.
She's asking for money, exactly. And I love Looney Foodie Beauty, this channel, this clip channel. I put the link in the chat. I'll put another one in there. But yeah, she does this stuff talking about, I had to spend $400, but I'll get reimbursed, but I don't have the money. She's doing the Rosie, where she's talking about how broke and how poor she is, knowing that one of her kind beezers are going to take pity on her. Shame on you, Foodie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this thing here. You just like on your arm. Hey, Positive J. And then we have Ozempic. Yay.
So she's got the Ozempic here finally. Oh, does anybody know what's up with Foodie Scooty? I haven't been checking her out as much. That Scooty can't be long for this earth at this point. The electric system was fried from all the salt water, and the battery has to be messed up.
And that's about it. I don't know what else to say. I guess I'll start it today, the Ozempic.
Hungry for gimmies.
Thank you for the gift. Who sent that? Oh, Jane. Thanks, Jane. Do your injection before bed, really?
Oh, and the doctor allegedly is putting her on 2 different types of insulin, a long-acting and a short-acting. I'm not an expert on diabetes, but it's reasonable to think that to put her on multiple types of insulin, she probably has a pretty serious issue. If they need to really be so proactive with with treatment.
I didn't get like a readout of all the results, but he went over it and just told me what was like an issue.
Seriously, Nutty.
Busy day? Productive day? Not really. I still need to cook and stuff. Yeah. So anyways. Yeah.
You know what? I see that Rose Thorn is on,
Pizza?
And I think we
Farm Boy has
covered
a really good...
we basically covered the foodie stuff for tonight. I think I'm going to send y'all off to Rose Thorn because it's been over 2 hours. My voice is starting to get a little bit tired.
Crust for cauliflower pizza. Oh yeah. healthy but obese. She's also younger, so does she have diabetes, ALR, or no? Framboise goat. Oh. No, it's possible she doesn't have. How old?
Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming by. I think it's going to start shutting it down. So let me take a moment to say goodbye to everybody. Good night. Thank you so much, you fantastic audience. I'm sorry, Blush. Whoops, hit the wrong button here. Got the echo going. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Is there a way I can send somebody out? I don't know a way to send you guys out automatically. So I'm just going to put the link in the chat and say good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Good night, Nutty. Good night, Canada Cool. Thank you so much, Canada Cool, again, also for the very generous super chats. Thank you so much, Canada Cool. I very much appreciate it. And thank you to all of the members. Thank you to all of the chatters, all of the lurkers. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the stream. Thank you, Chris Jenner. Thank you, Lizu. Thank you, Blush. Thank you, Cinnamon Girl. Good night, everybody. Good night, good night, good night. Yes, yes, indeed. Good night, everybody. And I'll go visit Rose Thorn for a minute because I'm not that sleepy just yet. I'll see you all over there, hopefully. And if not, hopefully y'all have a good night. Good night, everybody.